she, posing as a shaman, tries to pet this young boy's lamb. The boy doesn't let him touch him. No, he had a pet lamb.
No, it was an alpaca.
He had a pet lamb. It was
not a lamb.
It was clearly a lamb.
It was not a lamb.
What is that, Dana?
It is a tumi. It is one of the sacrificial knives from the Inca.
Yeah.
They would sacrifice animals and people to the sun god. We went to Peru.
Y'all. How'd it feel going back to your fatherland?
Oh, for the first time. Yeah. It was an experience. It was kind of like a birthday / Hispanic heritage trip. So, because my dad never took us growing up. So I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go now as a old ass adult. I'm going to go. And you and Raphael were kind enough to give me a buddy pass. And
a first class ticket back.
Yeah, we got bumped up.
Yeah,
and all the planning you guys did was awesome. Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't get over.
You look, you're doing like the cover girl looks like
the video format. It's
weird not to look at yourself.
I did a ponytail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I like it. It looks good.
No, with the headphones and all. Okay. Yeah. So we went to Peru. We went to
Peru. So did your hair.
Yeah, and the weather was weathering. The elevation was elevationing. It was.
But you
rough.
had medication this time, so you did a lot better.
It helped about 70%, but it was quite an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're so distracted by the video. We can't
do this. I can't do this. You better fucking watch the video.
I know this is hard for us. Okay. It's like we're watching our own train wreck, and we can't look away to even do our jobs. Thank God we can't see each other for our live events, because I would just freeze.
Let me just stop staring at myself in the camera.
I'm just gonna look at my notes like this.
Yeah, let's just look at our notes, because this is fucking weird, man.
We did it before.
Okay, look.
We were a lot more comfortable with that one, but we were a lot more drunk.
No.
I'm not drunk at all.
We don't need alcohol. I've only had 2 glasses of wine because that's all I had in the house.
Yeah.
And
I still can't believe that. I don't even know you anymore. Go buy more. I don't know. like you always do.
I ran out of money.
For a $4 bottle of wine at the gas station.
I had to pay. No, I don't have any more money.
Oh.
I don't have any more money.
Times are hard. After that Peru trip, everybody's broke.
Yeah.
I still have soles left.
Yeah, you should keep some. Back. At least you don't have too much. Just keep some for souvenir.
Like under 100. Like.
So you have
not that
10,
much.
No, 100 bought it before. You have like $25 worth of soles.
I guess I could have used those on souvenirs, and I'm mad that I didn't. But oh well.
Well, yeah.
I have Bailey's. This is my leftover espresso from this morning. My Bustelo.
Is it Costco Bailey's or actual Bailey's?
It's the Costco Bailey's.
Okay, then don't call it Bailey's. Bitch.
What? I don't know what else to call it. I don't know the name.
Trying to pass.
Knock off Bailey's.
Trying to pass a Gucci bag. Look, it's Costco Bailey's, whatever that is.
I don't know the name because it said it had wine in it, and I don't understand how that could be in something like a Bailey's, because you don't taste the wine. It just tastes like alcoholic coffee.
Well,
a cappuccino maybe.
Sure.
So I had my leftover espresso from this morning that I was too busy to drink at work, and I just added my Costco Bailey's to it.
I have water.
Lame.
Water.
I also have water.
I know I don't have any more alcohol. I don't.
Are you gonna? Do we need to re-record? Do we need to record another night?
No, we should at least do like a
sober episode.
No, we should at least do a Peruvian shot, and we should at least do that.
We should have had pisco.
We don't have pisco, but we have the elixir. We should at least take a shot.
It's not the same. It's like for medicine.
Take a shot of that.
It's gross. It tastes like black licorice.
You don't like it?
When we were on a
tour,
anyway.
I'm gonna drink a shot. Of that, because it's from Peru, so I'm gonna go get it.
Okay.
That is the man looking stoic or whatever.
Oh Jesus!
And then where's the woman?
Don't let it leak on the laptops if it's open.
There's the woman.
There's a woman.
You see her?
There's my great abuela, That's
just
the
a little baby one. Whatever.
Elixir de los Incas.
All right, I'm gonna
read
drink
this.
a shot of it because
It even has a little alpaca
delicious.
hat.
It does. I think it tastes delicious. Here we go.
Let me smell it. Let me smell it again. Let me see if it smells like how I remember it.
So
Ugh, it smells like black licorice.
I don't know what black licorice smells like.
That. It's disgusting.
I never had black licorice. I had
the
the candy.
I've had the jelly
once.
bean by accident. Jelly belly, but gross.
All right. Hail me, Peruvian spirits. Make me whole
again.
All right, here we go.
No, we just need pisco. That's what we should have had. We drank a lot of pisco there.
Well, I was afraid to take glass in my suitcase. I thought it was going to bust.
Well, we can buy it here somewhere probably.
Yeah, you can.
So I should have brought that tonight. I didn't even think of it.
Pisco. What, you had some?
No, just go to the store.
Go to the liquor store. Yeah,
I don't even know what liquor store to go to get it because it's not the one around the corner.
We have a very international area. You can find it. Go to I'm sure it's around.
Maybe. Anyway, we drank a lot of those and they were delicious. The food was delicious.
Yeah. We're still off the high and the lows of our Peru trip. We have the bites in our
low right now.
Yeah, we have the bites in our legs to prove it. Dana,
God, those fucking mosquitoes.
She climbed Machu. She climbed the whole thing. I didn't make
Machu Picchu mountain.
Yeah, I didn't make it all the way. It's like a mile up like this. The incline is like that. Pretty much.
It got real narrow.
I was too tired.
Yeah.
And I slept by a pile of rocks, and people kept passing me like, "What the fuck is this bitch doing?"
Like, ma'am, are you okay?
I'm fine. My party is elsewhere.
They went to climb the mountain, and I'm taking a nap.
Just let me sit by this rock in peace.
You literally took a nap on the map.
Get bit by these bugs. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I did what I got to do.
Yeah,
but there was so much that we did. But just to highlight a couple of things for you guys that is definitely horror related.
We did some dark tourism. We had a lovely tour guide named John Paul. Hi, John Paul.
Hi, John Paul.
We did dark tourism with John Paul from Peruvian World Tours. Mm-hmm. And a little description from their website is we went to the famous colonial catacombs under the Basilica and Convent Church of St. Francisco de Assis, or as you also found it,
De Jesus el Grande. Yeah.
Sounds like big Jesus, but Jesus is big there. All the Catholics. We're not supposed to say that Pizarro took over back in the day. Apparently Peruvians don't like that, to be reminded that they were colonized and their indigenous ways were stolen or taken away or stamped out, some of them.
Negro is a bad word.
Can't say black people there.
Caribbean cultures, negro is a sign of respect and beauty.
Yeah.
So learned that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We saw all the dead bones down there.
The catacombs,
yes.
Underneath the church. It was funny because they're just having like a service right above, and we could look through like the grates and see people just singing.
Came and established the decree, the law, no more burials under the churches.
Taking communion or whatever it's
called. I
thought
it was hilarious that like all these people, think they're paying their way to heaven to be buried in this church.
Right.
So they have the
back in the day.
Yeah.
That's how they had the special burials in the catacombs, but then it got too full. And so they just started
dumping them
and like not keeping up with whose bones were whose or whatever.
Have your pomp and circumstance and like a gold little casket and in the carriage in the city. And then once you wheeled into the church,
they just
dump
put you in a wheelbarrow and into a pile of other bones and mix you up.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then as nighttime approached, we got to do a tour in apparently the oldest public cemetery in America.
Yeah.
So this is probably in all the Americas.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask if it was that.
I know, like when I talked to Raphael, it's like U.S. is not the only America, you dumb fuck. Like it's like there's South America, Central America. So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And
because afterwards, not the church, we're talking about after the church with the catacombs, we went to the general cemetery, like you were just saying, called Presbítero.
Matias Maestro.
Maestro,
I'm probably saying it wrong.
1808. And it has more than 700 mausoleums. And it housed like hundreds of children that died of yellow fever back in the day.
I thought it was a great tour. I wasn't scared because I don't believe in ghosts and stuff, but
Okay. So now you see these crazy ladies coming out from exploring. Hola.
Hola. We did it. Yeah.
he was giving us all the realness with all. He's
wonderful.
wonderful.
Seen shit and he's felt shit with other tours, that he's taken.
You see those guys over there in the corner?
Yeah.
That is the corner. They're talking about a guy called Enrique Thompson. Enrique Thompson is the guy who shot himself after killing his loved one. His girlfriend, right? And this is the corner where a lot of guards has given testimonials that the guy is always yelling in pain, shouting, "Where is my girl?" and things like that,
Oof. What time in the morning? Like 3 a.m.? 3 in the morning?
3 a.m. is the time for the
witching hour, they call it, yeah. And there was a pavilion of suicides. They had like their own little section.
Yeah, because they weren't going to make it to heaven because they did it the wrong way. So you got to have them separate from everybody else.
Put them in the corner, I guess. Mm-hmm. And there was an area of like crypt of heroes, which I guess were like, I forgot. Did he say it was like generals, like
all the important people,
and, like, people that helped build the city or whatever. I don't remember. Sorry.
I think what stuck out to me was definitely, I guess, what was shameful at the time. Being someone who was there was a beautiful statue of a woman who was a mourner that was a job where she was paid to mourn. Yeah, she was paid. You're paid to mourn at funerals because God forbid you don't have anybody show up at your funeral because you're a shit
like
person.
An asshole,
or just maybe a lonely old bird and you don't have friends or family.
All your friends and family already died. Maybe you're the oldest.
Yeah, so that was interesting. I
want that job.
I can't cry in command. Can you?
I would know. I would do some, put something in my eyes, some teardrops, eye drops, something. If I was getting paid.
Yeah, we talked about this before, as far as people who get paid to cry at people's funerals and stuff like that.
Yep, it's a thing all over the world in some cultures.
But it's very interesting to see how, because I remember you were telling me, Dana, that when you were younger, you would see magazines or something of.
My dad's magazines.
Yeah, what kind of magazine was that?
It was like a newspaper or something. I don't know the level. I don't know if it was more like a National Enquirer or if it was like a Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I don't know what level of news it was, but it like on the cover or there were stories in it about exorcisms. So.
Yeah, and I think that John Paul concurred that like I feel that there's a more majority of people who genuinely believe this kind of stuff.
Catholics.
I try to be respectful and not laugh at any of this. But like, for example, there was one particular grave of an English woman who was supposedly bit by the Frankenstein, and the actual the actual Dracula from Romania, and they actually had
was it supposed to be his wife or something?
Maybe just one bitch of many, but she was British. That's neither here nor there. The point was that that locals on live television,
was like 80s or the 90s or something, like not that long ago?
1993.
Okay.
On live television, waited for this vampire to come out from her grave
on a certain day.
It's
like they're waiting for the Groundhog Day or something.
Yeah, it was 1993, and like it was legit real news. And like I haven't watched the special yet, and I will tag it in this episode of the particular woman. And actually newsreel you can see on YouTube of the Peruvians waiting for this queen to come out and bite people and or whatever it is.
Rise from the dead.
And
she didn't.
It's always very interesting to me. I don't believe in any of the stuff, like all the ghost tours and stuff, but I am moved by people's abilities to be creative. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
I will say that, because remember there was at one point in the cemetery where he and you and him like stayed back, and he was like, go ahead, Dana, just like walk down this long was almost like a hallway, but not, or alley of graves in the mausoleums, whatever, in the walls. I forgot what it was called. And he was like, no, I'm not going to say anything. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. And, just watch yourself. And I was like, fucking being set up. So I did it. And I didn't feel anything. I haven't gone back through all my videos to like lighten them up to like see if I could see anything yet. I did on a couple of them, but I didn't see anything yet. But there was one part, and I can't remember which part it was, but it was before that where we were walking, and it felt heavy, and I felt like a little lightheaded. Mm-hmm. And then it went away when we left that area. So I don't know. I felt funny, and I was just kind of like, bleh, but yeah, it went away.
Yeah, I believe he's had some people who have done it and have been like genuinely, I can't go down this aisle of child grave, like it really moves them, all that kind of stuff.
A lot of people heard like a rattle.
Yes.
They found we saw the smashed rattle. Mm-hmm. And there was like 3 main kids. There was like Emily and like a boy and another girl that people would see like there.
I thought it was very interesting how particular graves where they didn't know a lot of information, they would choose this particular child to, I guess, become their own little saint, not recognized by the church or the Pope, but have say, oh, I've seen the picture of this child wearing the same exact clothing like as a child in the grave or something, and choose that child as, I guess, their saint like for comfort. Yeah. And they take it very seriously.
Didn't like one of them like heal or have some healing powers or some powers?
Well, what do saints do, Dana? That's all they do, baby.
But like I don't remember. Heal. I remember like that last one. I think it was Emily or something.
That's what saints
do. I'm still scratching these fucking mosquito bites. I didn't even realize I was doing it, and I saw myself on camera doing it.
I'm so ugly. I'm hideous.
Look.
That's nothing. You don't want to see our legs. You can't see nothing, Dana. That's not showing anything. But
that's just a little bit, but it goes like all here.
No.
Our legs look like we have smallpox. I've never been bitten so bad in my life.
I felt
I had to take.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had to take your Zyrtec, and then I had to take Allegra because I thought I was gonna like have anaphylactic shock from scratching so much. These fucking mosquitoes. This was in Machu Picchu. This was like in Agua Calientes, which was like the base of Machu Picchu, like the little village or little town we stayed in. Mosquitoes were awful. They were in our rooms. They were just ugh.
Fun fact, this wonderful village that was built on Machu Picchu, where many people, it's like the most highest pilgrim place in the Americas for people to come and do that. And I was comforted by this fact that like if a woman could not produce a child in
back in the Inca days, in
5 years, that she was
they were banished,
but with her husband, so at least he was to blame as well, and not just the
equal
woman
opportunity exile. I was like, you and I would have been kicked out a long time ago.
No, we're very fertile. I wish I had a very good memory. He's told us so many amazing stories and was very patient with us and answering our questions about all the graves. I found it very interesting. Of course, there was a huge Asian immigration, mixed names like like Chang Jesus or something like that. So, Peru is definitely a place to visit and a place of many lore.
The food is amazing.
The
ceviche, the pisco.
Pisco, I'm usually not a cheap date, as Dana says, but I had like a pisco and a half, and that was enough for me. I couldn't drink anymore. It's liquor made out of corn, right?
I think so.
Yes.
I just remember there's egg white like blended into it,
which sounds very nice touch.
But
it's a very nice touch.
Nobody got salmonella.
There's so many, and we learned about all the different types of corn they have. But
alpaca fur. We learned all about how they make
quality of the alpaca furs.
Yeah. We got to feed some alpacas. Mm-hmm. What else did we do? Yeah, we did a lot. The mountain. We looked at the ruins.
We got to
beautiful,
see,
breathtaking. The ruins are breathtaking. I'll put. Stop scratching. Oh, I'm having like flashbacks.
Yeah.
All right, keep my hands. I'm just gonna have to like. All right. Okay. We're fine. Yeah. We're not having PTSD from those Peruvian mosquitoes.
Oh God.
Anyway, so in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month,
I don't know what to do with hair.
It looks good no matter what you do.
I guess.
You keep messing with it, but it looks fine.
It's just weird. Anyway, go ahead.
You're just not used to it.
No.
That's all. You look great, sweetie.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
You really do.
Thank you.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. For Hispanic Heritage Month, also kind of planned this trip to happen in September as well, the same month, or like partial September, because it goes from the 15th of September to October.
Yeah. October 15th. Yeah.
Because, like we say, Hispanics can't start on time for nothing. So just start in the middle of the month. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And we discussed that last year as to why.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, it's just it happens to fall upon the date for many Hispanic countries, Latina countries, for when their day of liberation came, which happens to be
good memory.
Around
Look
the 15th.
Your brain working.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I picked I found a Peruvian horror movie, although upon watching it and like the reviews later, articles about it, it's not actually a horror movie, but it has a lot of the tropes.
I think it is.
It's almost like the horror of mankind that we will see in a way, more so than anything paranormal. So, and it is called The Light on the Hill, and it's from 2016.
Yes, let's see if I can say this right. La Luz en el Cerro.
Nice. Look at you rolling your R's.
No, it's bad.
Peru.
Dana does have a better...
sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better than mine. All
right. So Rotten Tomatoes had nothing. They had a description. The summary.
Oh, you didn't find any scores?
I found on IMDb, I found it was a 6 out of 10. Did you find another one?
No.
Okay, so the summary from Rotten Tomatoes. The mysterious death of a shepherd awakens greed and superstition in a remote Peruvian village. The writer-director is Ricardo Velarde. He has done 2 shorts, Hunted in 2008 and The Visitor in 2009 and The Light on the Hill 2016. I could not find any information on the budget or the box office or any fun facts behind the movie creation, anything, because it's just so, like a little small obscure movie, I guess. So did you have anything?
No, I didn't. I really try to search
about the music
for anything that I could find about that. And what's funny about that, I even just kind of typed in like general Peruvian horror films, and there is very little. And one of them was mentioned, which was one that we did review last year. That was your pick as well, which was The Bone Woman. The Bone Woman, which is considered a Peruvian was considered a Peruvian horror. I think mainly because
elements,
of the, I guess maybe the Peruvian punk music that was used throughout the film.
Right.
And it's very funny to me because like Peru has such a rich culture of lore in superstition, but as far as Peruvian horror made by Peruvian makers, it's very few. And so I've seen a lot of films that from horror that like take place in Peru. Like The Ruins was one of my favorite from 2008. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
It's my favorite type of film, like where white people go on vacation and they go like, let's go hiking. Well, let's go
to Machu Picchu.
Let's scallop down a trail that no one does before. Even though people tell us not to do it. And they do it, and then they encounter like supernatural shit or things in the mountains. I like those kind of movies where like white people go on places they're not supposed to go to and shit happens.
It's the white people.
So that's like one of my favorites. It's like takes place in Machu Picchu, and which I love. But there's not a lot of Peruvian makers, and hopefully we get to see more of that. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try one.
Yeah, she's a very good actress. I think she's an excellent actress.
Well,
we'll see how you can do it in a professional setting, I guess. I'm
scared.
Just do what we always do. Just drink a lot, which I'm not doing right now.
I know. You're like, I'm so stiff. I feel like we need to go to the gas station for you or something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, do you want me to sell you
some? I don't know. Probably.
Raphael go get it?
No, I'm not going to make him do that.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if he was up and bored. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to have
him
run to
do.
I
don't know. Okay.
No. Yeah.
But yeah. Like when was it? August, I think. I was inspired to make like a little short film, just like on a whim. I was having a shit week, and it was a shit week at work and just all around. And I really loved Karma Police, and it spoke to me. And I think I was like PMSing or something. So I made this little short in the mirror. We posted it on Instagram and our YouTube. And our lovely friend, Shannon Ford Thompson, who is the Buried Alive Film Festival director. We're about to put out an episode with her as well. And she's also a horror film director as well, and who has big things coming. She wants to reshoot it and like add a little narrative to it and make it a little different and a little more political, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I'm excited about that. So I do want to make a Peruvian kind of revenge film with it. It has some of like the lore, the Inca mythology to it, which will be very therapeutic for me in a sense, and some of my family members. So maybe I'll be a Peruvian filmmaker.
Yeah.
We'll see. It'll be a short, if anything. But anyway.
Absolutely.
One day.
So, for the music, I had to really like
Shazam it.
No, it wasn't Shazamable. I saw in the credits. It was very blurry, but I had to like glow in and like who was the composer for this film, and it was I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, Joni Chiappe. Chiappe. He is a small time artist from Lima, from SoundCloud. He has like 122 followers, so go check him out. And I thought he did an excellent job for this film, especially being a small time composer. So I just want to say definitely shout out to that. For hopefully maybe I will compose Dana's short as well.
Also, I want you to be a part of it.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna
here.
Yeah, I play.
She plays the cello,
sort of,
and you play.
Yeah,
yeah. Hopefully, you can compose some music from my short film. Yes.
Okay. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, I can't do this video format, y'all. It's killing me.
You did it before.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate this.
I don't like it though.
I know, but see,
I go through hell.
Setting up though, I don't know.
I go through hell touring. I love to tour.
I can't stop. Anyway, so I did look up a list of Peruvian horror films. These are not made by Peruvian. There's one called Alpaca. So
are you serious?
Yeah. So I guess it's about an alpaca,
possessed alpaca.
Yeah, it's just called Alpaca! Exclamation point.
We have to look that one up.
So,
okay, keep talking. I'm gonna Google that while you're.
You won't find much or anything to look at.
I
but
still want to see it though.
Okay.
Oh my god, Alpaca.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't that come up in my? Oh, there's an exclamation mark in it too.
Yeah, Alpaca.
Oh my god.
Does it have a?
It's a comedy horror.
Does it have a?
There's
picture?
not even a picture.
It's not even a picture. Very small. Mm-hmm.
There's not even a summary. There's no filmmaker. How do you watch it?
I don't know, Dana.
What?
It was on the list for Peruvian horror.
Oh, it says because this project is categorized as in development, the data is only available on IMDb Pro and is subject to change. So there's not even a year yet. Okay, it's not out.
It's going to be a new film that's coming out.
It says because this project is categorized as in development.
That could mean it'll never be made, maybe.
Or they're still being filmed, or it's post-production.
Perhaps.
I hope so.
Well, we'll keep it on our radar.
Alpaca.
All right. I'm interested. So, yeah, unfortunately, I didn't find a lot about this movie. I'm very excited to delve into it.
Okay. And my hair doesn't have the same volume as it did because the water was different there.
So just shut your pretty little dirty mouth. As you can see, we took a break. I obviously discovered that I'm alcoholic. I'm alcoholic. I need help, and I was not getting through the podcast well, so I went to.
We were grumpy.
And
Chardonnay.
Now I feel
I can't put the label because
better now.
We got some gas station Chardonnay.
Gas station Chardonnay.
I love a Chardonnay.
Like an old boomer. It's a weird taste. I don't like my red wine.
I switched from Kirkland Bailey's
to
gas station Chardonnay.
Yeah.
What of it? You know, this is a very obscure movie. We couldn't find like budget, box office, fun facts. Mm-hmm. Kipri is obsessed with her amazing ponytail and now her sunglasses. I'm living for it. I think you should do a ponytail for every episode now that we're...
Well, if my hair is pressed, I can do it. If it depends. If my hair is not pressed, then I
try it anyway. Just see what happens.
Yeah, you're right.
Just try it anyway.
It's my hair.
Even if it like gets wavy at the base, like just still, you got the headband. Just
I don't know why I'm doing the headband, but I just felt like a headband today. Yeah, it's a lot of work, especially in Georgia heat, which I'm so thankful for the fall to let me wear my hair pressed so it doesn't frizz up.
Right.
But
it looks great. I mean, you've had it pressed since before Peru.
Yes,
so.
this is pressed
pre-Peru.
Pre-Peru. And it's time for a wash, and I cut it, y'all. I did cut it 4 inches, so it's a little shorter.
But it's cute. It has a bounce to it. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so we're going to get into this Peruvian film.
Yes.
La Luz en el Cerro. The Light on the Hill from 2016. 1926. In color. Can you believe that? From 1926.
I can't. They were so ahead of their time back then.
They were.
Wow. Okay. So we open on a sunny day in the cold hills of a Peruvian village where a young boy unfortunately finds his father dead, foaming at the mouth. Now, I want to say, when we were going to our recent trip, because we traveled a lot, we were always on the go, right?
Always on the go. Trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yes, literally. Buses, everything.
Yeah.
Multiple planes. When we were coming to and from Cusco to Machu Picchu, we were on a train or a bus going to and fro. Yeah, that's
to and fro. To and fro, hither and thither.
That's my American grandma. To and
fro, hither and thither.
I didn't know that one. Yeah. But like literally, we would see these hills, like these villages, and we stopped at one to go to the bathroom where we had to pay 1 sole to go to the bathroom and bought some crackers or something. But it was like being there. Like as I started the movie on the bus there, it was really cool to see like these actual hills, these villages actually in the movie, and we literally just experienced it. So that was very cool.
It was very cool. And I can honestly say that this was authentic. It wasn't like, is this how, because when people get representations of countries on their phone, they think, are the places actually like this? Are they dramatizing it for us as far as how people dress and live? But this was actually very accurate. So authentic.
So he sees his dad dead, foaming at the mouth. Cut to the title and pan flute.
And
as if we didn't hear enough of that the whole time we were there. I don't know why I'm doing Italian hands right now.
It was a very good 80s vibe song that pans. It's played by Animal by Prida.
I liked it because it was like smoke on the mountain. Because they're so high up. Like the elevation is so high.
Yes.
Especially in Cusco. Like
we're
higher.
In the clouds, y'all.
Literally, yeah. Like it was funny. I didn't know this going into it, but like Cusco is actually higher up in elevation than Machu Picchu, where the ruins are.
For American relation, I believe it's
2 times Colorado or something, right?
I think it's more.
That's what Raphael said.
Raphael told us, and I forgot, but it is several times higher than the elevation in Denver.
And we didn't feel great when we got to Cusco the first time.
I didn't adjust well.
But you
felt tired.
Yes.
But the second time we came back to Cusco, I was already adjusted. But it was a little rough.
We had the coca leaves.
The coca leaves.
Oh my God. I have a video of us chewing the coca leaves in the Airbnb that the maid left. She was like, yeah, I left some in a jar.
Insert here.
The elevation is a lot. Or coca leaves. We're gonna get high.
No.
Because we're high in the elevation. It didn't taste good. So we follow a truck into town, and then we go to the medical examiner office where these two pathologists, Jefferson and Chino, are blasting some hardcore metal while they're examining bodies. I laughed because Chino, the one whose name is Chino, my uncle, my whole life I thought his name was Chino until I realized that was just a nickname, calling him because he looked Chinese. But he didn't look Chinese. He's not even the uncle that looked Chinese. I have a different uncle that looked Chinese, which is funny. Jefferson is played by Manuel Gold. He was in Papa YouTuber, like in the movies. I'm not going to do the Spanish translation of that, but The Womb and The Dreamer. Chino is played by Emilram. I've never seen this last name before in a Spanish culture, but I'm just ignorant. Emilram Cosio.
That's what I think as well. Okay. Yes.
He was also the gynecologist in Huesera, the bone woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I tried to go back and look up a picture of him, but I couldn't find one.
Yeah,
unless I downloaded the whole movie again. He was also in Papa YouTuber, Undertow, The Hole, and among a few others as well.
Cool.
Yeah. So the room, the medical examiner's room is dark and dingy, and it hurts my heart to see them because they're just like handling a body, wearing like a single pair of latex gloves and a completely unbuttoned lab coat.
So what, they should be
all
the masker
PPE,
down?
Because a medical examiner, like, you're examining the cause of death. You don't know what it is. It could be a disease. It could be contagious. It could be, you don't know.
Well, it's third world, baby.
I know.
They don't have the same standards
I'm like,
as
at
us.
least could you just button
I remember
your lab
Dana
coats?
saw a nurse walking in the streets, and she was wearing her full getup with the gloves, and you were like, oh my God,
with the
contamination.
Yeah,
of it
I'm
all.
like, don't go back in the surgery room like that. Like, have some aseptic technique. Come on, I work in a lab. Like, don't contaminate your shit.
They're fine. They're better than us. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Every country is better than us as far as toxins and whatnot.
Not in this movie.
Okay.
Jefferson lights a cigarette, like right over this woman's body that they're examining, right? And she's presumed to be killed by her husband, who was in a jealous rage because she was cheating on him, apparently. And so then they start to work on 46-year-old mountain shepherd Jose Cardenas, played by Julio Cesar Flores.
Would you feel the woman's body was a real body who was just like pretending to sleep? Or did you think it was like a full prosthetic body? The woman.
As far as like budget goes, since this was like such an obscure, like small time movie, I feel like it probably might have been. I feel like because it takes a lot to make like a whole ass body look like that. So I feel like that it was probably like makeup and special effects.
But the man's
on
body wasn't. By the way, it says Jose Aguirre Cardenas.
Yeah, I don't
Hansua, 46 years old, cause of death unknown. And his body was obviously faked. And I thought that was
you thought it was fake too? I don't know.
Because they started digging into it.
Oh, yes. So
it was
when they
fake.
start doing the actual autopsy.
So I
yes.
thought that was pretty decent. What did you think as far as...
I thought the special effects were really good with that. Yeah.
With that opening.
Yeah. I was impressed. You know, I wasn't expecting that kind of quality, I guess, in the special effects.
So you already like this, going to this film, because it's like, you like sciencey shit?
I love special effects.
No, I mean on the science aspect as your job as far as what they were doing.
Yes, one of my cousins on my American side, she is a forensic pathologist, and I still have not to this day. She's like, yeah, come and go in like the theater and like watch an autopsy, and I forgot, and I just haven't.
Yeah,
but it's still on my list of things to do.
I see in so many horror shows and movies where like people are observing operation. It's very
like
cool.
A theater. Yeah, it's like back in the day, they used to, everybody gathered around to learn, it was like
Nurse Ratched. Yeah, she's like, show me more. Show me more.
Oh, my. Miss Hardcastle.
She goes, oh, I love Sarah Paulson.
They need another season.
Sarah Paulson. I love you so much.
Is there going to be another season of Nurse Ratched? Keep it going.
There is talks. I did see.
There's talks, but...
No, not Nurse Ratched. There are talks that she and maybe Evan Peterson are going to be on another season of American Horror Story.
That's great, but I need to finish the Nurse Ratched story.
You haven't finished it?
No, I finished it, but they left it on a cliffhanger, which leads to another season, so they need to do it.
Oh, yes. Agreed.
That's all I'm saying.
Outside, the deceased shepherd, Jose Cardenas, his wife, Hortensia, she's like trying to tell the captain, like, what's going on with my husband? We need answers, because she had just brought his body up via truck earlier that day or the day before or something. And he's like, no, they're so busy. Like, we only have these 2 coroners from the big city that are here trying to take care of everything. And you're going to have to wait. And Captain Padillas is played by Ramon Garcia. He was in Chabuca from this year. Fire on the Amazon, 1993 with Sandra Bullock, which I'd never heard of, but cool. I was like, I don't know why. The cover of that, it looked like Anaconda.
What?
I don't know. Anyway,
what?
When I saw the picture, it reminded me of Anaconda with J-Lo. I don't know. Ultra Warrior, 1990. He played the bad guy. Watchdog in 2014, among several other movies and maybe possibly TV shows. I'm not sure what they were. It didn't really say in the limited information that was out there. Hortensia plays the widow. She's played by Dalia Paz. I could not find any other credits listed to her acting career.
I find that like on a lot of films that take place in very small towns, like they easily seem to cast natives from that region. Mm-hmm. And Raphael says all the time, like, that's how easy acting is. You could just cast locals and they kill it. They slay it every time. Acting's not hard.
I'm just being myself.
You're just being yourself.
Yeah.
And so that's what I felt from that. Like, it had a lot of, as an American would say, authentic feel.
Yeah.
For
it felt real. Especially
just
having
casting
just been
locals.
there,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So Captain Padillas, he feels bad and he helps her into the back of a truck because they don't have a transportation. And so they just get into like this town truck.
We saw ourselves. It's like, it's the same. It's a local taxi. This is an open truck,
or maybe a neighbor's truck. Who knows? I don't know.
It seemed like the town truck that people travel in is equivalent to a taxi. It's
like there would be a goat back there or an alpaca.
Sure. Yeah, it reminds me of the kind of
trucks.
Open trucks I see. Raphael will show me in Cuba, where you just pile in the back of a truck and then you go to where you need to go.
Yeah.
And the truck was heading back to her small town up in the hill and. Colleen.
I heard it pronounced 2 different ways. It was like Colleen or Colline or something.
Okay,
so whatever. But she's getting back a truck, but not before a corrupt landowner, Belisario, pulls up to remind her that her dad
in a Mitsubishi.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I've always fascinated with the kind of cars.
We saw so many cars, cars that we never heard of. There was like emblems on cars. I was like, I don't even know what brand car that is.
Yeah.
And there were. I thought it was really weird. Like we saw Volkswagen trucks.
Yeah.
Like a regular ass truck.
I feel like I've seen a Volkswagen truck here. That's not weird.
I've never seen that here in America.
That's your
Georgia.
Sister. She would know. In her town.
She'd be like, I'm not buying a German truck. I'm buying American made.
American
a Ford or a Chevy.
That's the only thing you can get right. Ford is trucks.
I guess. Anyway. Yeah. The Belisario pulls up and he's like there to remind Hortensia that her husband still owes them money, apparently, right? So back inside, we learned that Captain Padilla,
Real quick
the
on
officer,
that, I always thought when I was young, when you learn about rights and freedoms and stuff, I thought that when you die, your debts die.
No, girl.
No.
It goes to your next of kin.
No, they try to pull that bullshit with my mom. When my husband died, my dad. They're calling her up like, your husband owes this and that. Like, no, he doesn't. No, I don't. Try again, bitch, and hang up.
They'll get married. They'll try to pin that shit on you. I'm just kidding.
They can't. They can't. They try to pin on shit people who don't know better. But no.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just
He's
like,
dead. He can't pay
If I
this.
die and my house is still not paid off and my credit card is still not paid off, who's it going to go to?
It's in the Bible.
My dog?
There's nothing sure but death and taxes. Death. Just death. The death part. Right. No. Benjamin Franklin said that. That was in the Bible.
Yeah.
But no, in the Bible, it says when you die, your debts die. That's what the Bible says.
It would be nice if that was true, but not an American government.
No.
The IRS. Back inside, we learned that Captain Padilla, he knew Jose the shepherd that had passed. He thought he was a good guy who had helped him to, and he had already like helped him defend like land invaders, they called it, trying to take over his land. And like I said, his wife dropped his body off in a truck that morning, and there's speculation that he could have been murdered. Maybe. Back in the coroner's office, I like how Captain Badia is like telling these two metalhead coroners, he's like, you shouldn't be smoking cigarettes in here. It's disrespectful, and turn your fucking metal music down. Like, you know, and they fucking hate him for it, especially Jefferson. Then back at the Cardenas house, the wife Hortensia, she's worried about how they're gonna live now because, you know, their patriarch is dead. Who her husband's dead. The father to the children is dead. And I don't know, it was okay. I just have to do a little insert here, just from being there at the same time and then watching this movie at the same time while we're there and traveling through, seeing all, like, literally seeing these villages. Like, getting a peek into, like, the small and humble homes was just like, I don't know, it just captures a way of life that was, like, really real today, like last week. I've seen, like, old photos, like, my family took back in Peru, like, in the 70s. Like, the people still, like, the indigenous people still look the same. They're still operating the same and everything. And that was, like, 50 years ago. And I didn't even realize, like, till I finished watching this movie, like, back home in Atlanta, that I don't know, like, it was like they were, like, frozen in time. You know, it was like it was just crazy to look back and, like, see that they're still practicing the same ways. Like this is where the start of some, like, incredible civilizations occurred, right? Like, where some of the, like, the wonders of the world are, like the Giza pyramids, Machu Picchu, like one of the 7 wonders of the world. Like, they're still operating like the same way. Like, you don't see it so much. I mean, I'm an ignorant American, you know, I claim that. But I'm ignorant of, like, how some of my ancestors lived, and still to this day, like, even on a totally different continent, you know. It was just an eye-opening experience because, like, in Native Americans, it's like, you know, like, their land was taken away. Like, they're not, their areas now where they are designated to have their land now is, like, not like a tourist spot like it is in Peru. You know what I mean? Like, they can't make money. I guess they kind of can in a way. I don't really know. But, like, in Peru, it's like, you know, the natives are there. The indigenous people are there. They're still, like, making their crafts and wares and everything, and they're selling them, and people go to specifically look for that. They travel from all over the world to go to this place. They don't do that so much with Native Americans in America, you know, and other countries, yes, but, like, the fact that this was, like, one of the 7 wonders of the world, like, that was really cool to me. You know what I mean?
I feel like they do. Personally, from my experience, and
you've traveled more than I have
visiting
too.
And a lot of historical national parks that represent Native
like
Americans
okay,
in America.
Yeah,
and they do the same thing that they do. They try to make a living selling their culture to Americans, and they do that here. And it is.
Is it such a tourist hotspot though? Like,
yes. Like, if you go to Grand Canyon, there is the other side of the Grand Canyon. The other side of the Grand Canyon, where if you go to the non-American historically reserved national park side, there is, like, the West and East Canyon. If you go to the other side, it's where you'll see natives selling their way of life to try to make money for their communities.
Do they do tours as well, like how we went on tours?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There are certain spots where perhaps you can get permits to hike to certain designated native reserves or parts of the canyon that are just excluded from American way of life. That you can do that, but they're just like these Peruvians who are unfortunately, I guess you want to say, shucking and jiving for the white man to sell their way of life. Of course, I never lived in a reservation community to know what it's really like, all that kind of stuff. But I saw that a lot, like what you saw in Peru, as far as people living very hard and very old school and selling their way of life. Yeah.
Gotcha. I guess it just kind of, like, touched me because, like, I always wanted to go back to my heritage and kind of see that, and, like, to see, like, the contrast of the old ways and the new ways at the same time. Like, I don't know, it was very, I don't know, it was a very enriching experience, I guess, you know. Right. So Jose's widow, Hortensia's, they're back at their house now. Hortensia's father is convinced that he was drinking, her husband was drinking with some evil people that wanted to steal his land, right? And that they did some witchcraft and sent the devil after him. And I got real excited for a second. So I was like, Supai? Because that's the mythology I was looking at for my little short. They didn't talk about that, but I got excited for a second.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't want to hear it, and she tells her kids, Danilo and Rosita, I think is her daughter's name, don't listen to your abuelo. Like, he's crazy. And he, God, he reminded me a little bit too much of some people in my family. He was just like out there with alpaca fucking hat and just no teeth, witchcraft.
It's the whole, for Americans, Willy Wonka thing. You got a grandfather laying in the bed, getting fed, and complaining about shit. Like it's the same thing.
It's gonna be us too.
Yeah.
We're too done with life and just bitching about whatever. But
yeah. Well, your family's taking care of you and stuff.
Right.
I get it. Like, and also they're playing over candles. The one thing we did learn is that the particular saint for the Virgin Mary in Peru is my sister's name, who is not a virgin, Carmen.
Wow, way to call her out like that. Sorry, Carmen.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was going to say that about you.
The Virgin of El Carmen, she showed up in a mountain here in Peru. So Pope John Paul II crowned her on his visit to Peru in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not so virginal, are you?
Well, I hope not.
Not at our age.
Nothing wrong with being a virgin, but you know,
sidetrack.
Life's short. Anyway, yeah.
I had to also add my glasses because when we look at the camera now, it's weird because we are looking at where our eyes are instead of paying attention, and we are so ADD we can't.
Yeah, like I keep looking at my eyes. Like, am I looking at
you
the
just
dot?
look like Stevie Wonder right now with a fabulous ponytail.
I just feel better with the glasses on, so I'm not staring at my eyes.
These little
they're emoji. I don't know what they're called.
I don't know.
My sister got
from
them
Temu.
Yeah, from Temu for 88 cents or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So now I hope I can focus better. I hope I can focus better now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I won't be. And we don't look at ourselves. So we have to divert. I guess. I don't want to look at myself while I'm talking about it, because usually we're in a dark room with a couple candles in the background. We don't even see each other. So now it's just weird because we see everything and it's real bright.
We'll get the hang of it. We'll get the flow. The first episode, she had her Fred with her
mink, my white grandma's mink.
Yeah.
I'm worried to see how that episode's gonna come out, but it's fine.
Yeah,
just found him when my granny passed away. I inherited that. Apparently, I was like, I'll take that. I'll take the mink that she got from a boyfriend before she married my grandpa.
Yeah.
Some guy in the army was just like, here's a mink.
Here's a mink,
and she just kept it in the closet, well preserved, her whole life. And then when she passed, I took ownership.
Was she the asshole grandma?
Yes.
Just like my grandma, she was an asshole, but she knew the power of her looks. That's what she said.
I guess that's what she did. My grandma was a looker back in the day. She was. All right. So back at the corner.
What will we do now? Well, who will care for the alpacas?
Alpacas.
What did I say? Alpacas. What will we do now? Who will care for the alpacas?
Somebody will.
That's what the wife was saying.
Right. Basic. Yes. They don't.
Who
they don't have
very younger. Much too young to be this deceased man's wife. That's for sure.
That's true. He did look older than her. But it's probably how my abuela were probably.
Yeah, it's very common just to marry children in Spanish culture. I don't know how it is in every other culture.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Back at the coroner's office, Jefferson believes that the shepherd was killed with cyanide gas due to the discoloration of his lips and nails, right? But they're going to wait for the blood test results to confirm, just to be sure, because they're men of science. So the guys, they're after work, they're trying to find food. They go into town and they're so disrespectful. Like they're in this like little local town like that we visited.
Yeah.
And it's all closed down for the night, but they got off work late and they're like banging on the doors like, I need food, like just so shitty.
Well, what if she was hanging out and the door is several doors back? You need to bang to like, hey, we're here.
Maybe. I don't know. I read an article about like how disrespectful they were to the culture because they're like big city, Lima city, like kids. Like there's a contrast between them and the indigenous townsfolk
I
or
think
whatever.
that's all mental. I thought
I could see it.
They went
they were
there
just
to
like,
work.
well, I just want a 24-hour Waffle House, but not. You know what I mean?
Look, we live in Atlanta all our lives. I'm still angry that things are at 24 hours sometimes.
Actually,
I'll be just as perturbed if I was hungry and working all night.
Well,
so I sympathize.
We did go to a place when we first got to Lima. When we were coming back, there was that chicken soup place. Remember
that Raphael looked up to make sure it's 24 hours. Thank you, Raphael.
Yes, that's like the Waffle House.
It was so
of
good.
Lima. It was very good, but they're used to that lifestyle. Like something's got to be open, somebody's got to feed me, whatever. But they're in a remote town, like they're not gonna get that. So
I figured
being
this was the woman
disrespectful.
that was feeding them.
But we don't
didn't
see that. We
any
don't know.
disrespect
We
to
don't
it.
know.
I mean, Anyway.
Either way, they just end up going to sleep hungry.
Talking of food.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Jeff's telling Chino that like I'm so done with this town. I'm ready to go back to the big city, to Lima. I'm done with Captain Padilla. Like I'm done with this assignment in this small town. And we do see some like flashbacks that Jefferson has of like getting smacked as a kid, where I guess we can assume maybe it's his dad. I don't know.
It was very misplaced and weird.
It was weird.
And also, I feel like it's foreshadowing. He said, if I don't leave this town, I'll think I'll die if I stay here.
Which is me staying in like the suburbs of Georgia. I can relate to that. I ran away when I was 22 and I never went back.
I have a fucking sticker that says "Bury me in Atlanta when I die."
Atlanta proper, not the suburbs, like
she's
the
bougie,
city.
I have fun
where
in the
there's
suburbs.
culture. I'm like Jefferson. I'm not a total dick, as we'll find out Jefferson to be.
Yes, you are.
But no, I'm not. I didn't try to
uppity-
steal gold from the people.
Well, you're uppity about
I am.
anything but Atlanta.
I am.
appreciate all of Georgia, even the suburbs.
I can go back and visit, and then I have to immediately go back to where there's other culture, where there's not country music and big trucks.
Don't listen to what that mean short lady said about y'all's culture. Y'all are more than just awesome country music and trucks. Shout out to all my Bills in Georgia. Lawrenceville, Loganville, Snellville, and to Michelle's Chevy Silverado.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
Well, they have a good time,
it's
and I
triggering
appreciate
to
the
me.
country.
I like it for some aspects, but then I had to get the fuck away. I don't know.
Okay.
Either way, so we learn like how these fucking coroners are feeling about where they're displaced. They feel displaced, or at least Jefferson does, right? So the next morning, Jeff's pissed again because Captain Padilla has assigned yet another year of him staying in this little small town due to like all these accidents that are happening because they're constructing a highway now, and there's injuries, deaths, whatever. So like they need them there or whatever. And he is pissed. And so when Jeff tries to argue back with Captain Padilla, he like steps at him and he calls him the F word. And Jeff goes flying backwards, and that's when he gets a nosebleed. And we get that flashback from childhood, like he got smacked probably by a father, I guess.
Asume tu responsabilidades como un varón.
But apparently this was the flashback of
Jefferson,
getting pushed as a young boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, so like we don't get any more context to that. We do
No.
get in a flashback later where he's getting smacked again, but there's no like they don't go into that story anymore for some reason. So
Yeah.
we do
Like you say, you demanded him to stay for the whole year, right?
it's like you still have more duty here, basically. So we also get like a flashback also of Captain Padilla, like his work life in the past or whatever. He was never promoted back in Lima because of his violent behavior.
Shouldn't even be working, but okay.
Apparently. So even his wife apparently left him and took their daughter and he was sent to this small town, the same small town of Colleen. But he was also still a good cop, you know, but he just flew off the handle sometimes, apparently. So back in the town, Hortensia and her daughter, they're in the town like
Colleen.
They're in the little town, which we passed by several towns that look just like this on the bus. They're in the town just like getting their vegetables or whatever to take back to cook, and we see Belisario and his goon, his little like hitman. This is the corrupt landowner, and he just happens to be sharpening a machete, just hanging. I'm just like, of course he is. Yeah. And luckily Captain Padillas is there, and he draws a gun on them to stop them. He's like, quit fucking with this family. They just lost their husband, father, everybody. Apparently they already paid their due. He already paid the dues to you. Leave them the fuck alone. But apparently he's saying, no, he didn't.
¿Va a hacer cumplir la ley o va a defender ahora a los ladrones? ¿A dónde va, mierda?
So, whatever. And so the next day, this corrupt landowner and his goon go to like Padilla's boss, and they're just like, no, he harassed me or whatever. I'm filing a report or whatever. So, and unfortunately, like Padilla's boss is like, you need to chill because this is the last time you're going to get told this. Like, you have a record for like kind of flying off the handle, even though he's doing the right thing technically. Like I don't know what the circumstances are, how you're supposed to be a cop back then or there. And he's too old to keep getting in trouble, and you know, he's still trying to do the right thing. Now Jeff, the young coroner city boy, is taken off by himself in a red Beetle, and he goes to see where this shepherd Cardenas has died, right? And he's going to visit the family, see what's going on, because he wants to know like something. This is a weird death, right? So when he goes to the house, to the widow's house, we also see Belisario and his goon waiting outside, and with Belisario's girlfriend apparently waiting in the car, and they're just sitting there watching the house, like, because they were like, oh, Jeff's gonna be there. Like, they just assume he's gonna try to buy the land or something too.
No, they're just always watching this family.
They are. They're just like the little mafia or something, I guess.
By the way, I love the little red Volkswagen Beetle he drives up in.
I know. I was like, that's so not appropriate for the landscape, but
yes, it is. That's the kind of cars we saw there.
I mean, yes.
That's exactly the cars that we saw.
SUV with bigger tires, but whatever.
No.
They made it work.
You need little cars in those little roads.
I guess.
That makes work. And I noticed the little guinea pigs running around in their house.
I saw that. Yeah, the cuy, the cuy, cuy. I never ate that growing up. We never had guinea pig.
You won't do it because ethics? Is that why?
Well, I was just never there. Like I mean,
you won't eat a guinea pig because
even when we were in Peru, I was like, I don't want to try it. I didn't try the alpaca. Alpaca was really big on the menu too, and I wouldn't try it. I think
Raphael had it.
Raphael tried it. He said it was good.
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't personally want to try it. I just stuck with the chicken and the beef.
Okay.
And the ceviche. Yeah. But yeah, I don't doubt it was good. I was like, it's not something I want to try. It was not in my culture growing up to try. So anyway, Jeff is at the house now. He tells Hortensia, the widow, that he wants to start an investigation of her husband's death, since it was not caused by anything natural. To which her father, you know, the old abuelo in the background with his little alpaca hat, no teeth, he's just sitting in bed.
It's the devil!
And he's just like, and I was like, God damn it, you look like my grandparents. He's just like,
See, that's what I mean. Like, everyone believing that stuff. I'm like, okay.
You never know.
No.
Anyway, we also learn We also learned that at this point that an alpaca also died with Jose in the same manner, like foaming at the mouth on the hill where his son Danilo found them, right?
I thought it was funny because all of a sudden, like, she sends her daughter Rosita to get some wood in the dark.
Yeah,
and
on the hillside
the
of their
music
house.
is scary, but it's a cute little llama that pops up on the screen. It wasn't scary. It was cute. It's supposed to be like frightening, like the llama just coming out of nowhere in the dark.
Yeah, it was like
just
above the grandpa's head, right? Yeah, it was weird.
Just adorable.
Yeah, and we see like when she goes out to fetch the wood on the hillside at night that this fucking goon, the hitman, he's still watching the house like this whole fucking time. They never fucking leave. So, yeah, like the daughter, she gets spooked by what appears to be like a possessed alpaca. At the same time that the abuelo is like raving again, he's like, witchcraft. And like Hortensia's son, Danilo, he also sees like this crazy looking alpaca above him too, like these little like flashes of like a possessed alpaca, hellpaca perhaps. I don't know. My daughter, she is she's out there, you know, on the hillside, and she screams, and everybody runs outside like, what's going on? Why are you screaming? And all she can do is like point. And they look and they see this wavering light on the hill, which even like the hitman goon guy sees. Like you see, like it almost looks like the what are those lights? Like the northern lights or. Back at Bar Recreo, which means recreation bar, which is basically a strip club.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's like when we name stuff here cafe. Like we use the word cafe twice.
Right.
Cafe something, you know, like.
Is that a thing?
Cafe
in
is already.
Atlanta?
Well, no,
Is there
like
a
you name a
cafe?
coffee place, cafe already means coffee, so you don't have to preface it with cafe to name your fucking cafe of whatever.
Right.
Anyway,
Just for the foreigners, I don't know.
No. Anyway, it just sounds nice, I guess.
It does. I'm just like recreation of sex. I don't know.
Anyway, back in a hot tub.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like a strip club. Belisario's girlfriend, I guess, Carmencita,
yeah.
Carmencita. They're in a hot tub, and she's bullying him to kill this cop, Captain Padilla, so he doesn't ruin the plan of like obtaining this land, right?
I tell you, the fall of every man in these type of movies is a woman. Always.
We have so much power we didn't even know about.
Whatever.
We should use that more.
I don't want to. I want to be equal with the sexes.
Don't you want?
No, I don't want to.
Don't you not want to work anymore? I don't.
I already don't.
Anymore.
But I don't want to. I don't want to overpower a man. I want to be equal to a man.
I don't want to overpower a man either. I just want to be taken care of. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's what I do now.
Tired.
Just to be taken care of. But you don't need to, make them feel like lesser.
No, I don't want to do that either. I just.
Okay.
What do I have to do? Go work at Bar Recreo? I guess. I don't know.
No. I remember we did a movie where you said like it's empowerment to be shaking your shit. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh, I know
I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know.
If it gets the man's attention, yes, they'll do whatever you want. Just shake your ass.
You're a slave to their desire. So is it really empowerment?
But did you get what you wanted out of it? You just shook your ass and that's it. No, it's just a simple dance, Kipria.
No,
it's a simple dance.
You're a slave to the men's desires, shaking your ass.
But I don't want to work anymore.
Okay, there's other ways. How? I told you. Didn't I tell you about tradesmen, fork certified men? They have women who just
fork certified.
Okay.
Forklifter certified?
Forklifter certified, tradesmen, construction workers.
I know this. Yeah.
What do their wives do? They just sit at home and do TikTok. They don't have to do a goddamn thing.
Well,
and they're
I've not
fine.
met a man like that yet.
Just find a man whose love language is providing. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to.
Where do I find that? Is there a
There's plenty of men like that. There's plenty of men like that. Just find a provider love language.
So high right now. It's like I feel like I have to keep working too.
No, you don't. I don't. You can find it. I promise you. There's
What
lots
are you
of men.
talking about? I had to buy you wine at the gas station at night. You're like,
oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, because I'm trying to feel good and
And
like
my
save
single
money.
ass had to buy you wine.
I know. I feel like I need to. We help each other, but like I feel like I have
We're
to.
there for each other.
I feel like I should be like, because I'm
Just
not working.
fanning a
Save
grape
money.
leaf or something.
No, because I'm not working. I should be saving money on my all my things.
Yeah, the cigarettes are expensive, food's expensive, rent, mortgage is expensive.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll find them. You'll find.
I'm still looking.
Lots of men who
I just need a break. I've been working
just want
hard
to
my
work,
whole life.
and you don't have to pop your
them
pussy for that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I want everybody to live a nice, relaxed lifestyle. That's all. I don't want somebody to
we
work
gotta
harder
get out
than
of
me.
here. So I'm working on that, trying to not live here, I guess. America's too expensive.
Y'all keep saying that, but y'all won't move the fuck out of America
Just
when
wait.
you could.
Just wait, you see.
I'm waiting because I want to come visit. I know
Okay.
Raphael doesn't want me to come because I make fun of everything.
You don't want people. He just doesn't like people. I'm the only one he wants around because he chose me, I guess.
Special.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird archetype. It's a weird archetype. People who don't want people, but they need a woman in their lives.
They
don't want to be alone.
companionship.
They need companionship, but they don't like people.
Right.
I mean, what can I say? Like, women are complicated vessels as well.
So are men.
We say what we don't mean. We say we're very contradictory with what our desires.
Are men.
No, I feel like they're very blunt. But I'm just saying we're not as simple either. You know.
Okay. Everybody's complicated. Okay?
Everybody's complicated.
Everybody's got their issues.
Yeah. Okay. Well, back. So this bitch is in a hot tub, Carmencita. She's talking to this. I don't know how women do it. Like when they're like with very unattractive men, you know, doing the thing they do.
This
I
girl,
just can't.
She does it a lot. She does it with everybody. Like she's just like,
uses
get
her
some money,
uses her power, her looks, and her all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
We're doing it wrong. I don't know. Like I just shake our shit. All right. So back at the morgue, Jeff tells Captain Padilla that Cardenas died actually of an infarto. Of an infarto.
Infarto?
And I said, a what? A fart? Because I'm ignorant. And I laughed so hard.
What are you talking about?
And then I had to Google it. Okay, so I Googled because in the English captions, it said stroke.
Yeah.
But then when I looked it up, it also kind of meant heart attack.
Okay.
I saw the translation for both, but it sounds like fart.
Cárdenas sufrió un infarto, capitán.
¿Farto? ¿Farto? ¿Farto?
So I laughed like a 5-year-old because I'm stupid because I'm 5. And Jeff says he basically died from alcohol intoxication, even though he was supposedly working at the time. He was herding his alpacas up a hill. So why would he be drinking? But apparently he was. And to add insult to injury, right? He says, well, maybe he also had a mistress, which pisses off Captain Padilla. He's just like, no, he's just a normal dude just working. Why would he be fucking drinking on the job?
Insult the dead.
Yeah, how dare you insult the dead? Yeah,
the level of
Hispanic. Oh my God!
Alcoholics don't exist in other countries because everyone drinks.
I can't even drink. I can't even do an episode. We can't even do an episode without alcohol.
It's sad. It is sad. I was getting so irritated.
She had to put the sunglasses on.
Well, because I can't look not because of the drunk. I just don't know where to look.
I feel like even if you put the sunglasses on too, maybe you would have been a little more okay.
I guess. I just don't know where to look in these fucking video episodes.
We usually we're winding down the night when we record this. It's always at night. It's never during the day, like a 9 to 5. It's drink o'clock, you know? We're drinking.
Drink o'clock.
We just are. You know?
I'm sorry.
Shut up, Dana.
Sorry, that was a lame statement. Drink o'clock. I don't know.
It is. It was so lame.
I was like, what?
I don't know how to say it.
Anyway.
Okay. That night, Jeff tells Chino, his sidekick, the sidekick coroner, what he really found out at the house when he went on his solo interrogation. That the Cardenas actually took the alpacas, which we kind of already knew, to graze up on the hill. But he found a dead alpaca that had died from antimony gas.
Have you heard of that?
No. And
it's like a fake word?
I thought I really did. I had to minor. I was forced to minor in chemistry for a biology major, and I was just like, I never fucking heard of this. Which apparently antimony, or as they say, antimonio gas, is similar to arsenic, right? So in this case, it is emitted from the ground which killed the llama and killed him, right? Because he started digging. So the gas was created by what's called tapados, which are these gold treasures buried by the Incas when the rich, like Spanish settlers long ago were coming, and they were like taking down the emperor and everything. So like, we have to hide our shit. So they just started like burying their gold and all of their treasures on these roadsides and these hills. And there's so many hills there. And so they just happened to have one on this land here of the Cardenas, right? So Jose Cardenas, he knew that he had found one. So he had started digging, and he got hit with the gas, because the gas, like this gold, apparently when it's like stored in the soil, whatever particular soil this is, it combines with the soil, it starts emitting some kind of gas. I'm not a chemist. I hated chemistry. I'm not going to lie. I like biology, not chemistry. Me too. Hated it so much. And this gas that like would emit from the ground, that's what's causing these weird light gas lights that they'll see, you know, that the daughter saw and everybody saw that night, right?
Did that trip you up? Because you need to find the logic and everything in the horror movies.
No, I loved it. I was just like, oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah, because gas is, I mean, that's how you see, like when we see like beautiful sunsets sometimes that's just fucking pollution, you know?
It's like, always been,
you know?
Yeah.
And not always, but sometimes it is.
Sure.
And so Jeff, now knowing this, wants to go and dig this up and steal the gold without the family knowing, the Cardena family knowing, right? What the fuck, Jeff? You're an asshole.
Yeah.
He's telling Chino this, and Chino's like equally disgusted, right?
I admit, I don't know why I thought a little more highly of Jeff.
But he was
too. Like, he lies. Like, there's gold up there, baby. Let's take it from these poor land people.
Don't tell them.
But who?
Like, how did you know they didn't even know?
I know myself. I know I wouldn't do that because I've been tested with things in front of me, and I passed. Small example.
Like temptations.
Small example. We live in an apartment complex, so shit got mailed to my house that wasn't mine. I got like a huge ass box of what's it called, factor meals. Oh, yeah. They're expensive. They're nice. They're nice. I could have kept that shit for myself. And I was like, I need groceries this week. But no, I took her to the right house. And she said, thank you. No one would do that. Here, take a box of salmon on
salmon.
Me. So it's like, do the right thing. You'll feel better. Well, if you're in politics and you have those soul, and Dana doesn't think I have a soul, but I do. But like, it will bother me if I didn't do the right thing. You know, but you know, but nice guys finish last. That's the hard part about it.
But you got free meals out of it, right?
One, but I could have had a whole box of meals if I just kept it and didn't give back.
But you wouldn't have enjoyed it as much.
I guess not. I don't know.
Yeah, so you got a nice
the whole morality
for doing the
of
right
it all.
Thing,
I got a meal of salmon for doing the right thing.
But it was delicious, wasn't it?
I didn't have it. Raphael had it.
Oh my God!
I gave it to him. I don't know.
You're such a good woman.
He works. I don't do nothing. I mean, here and there. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I work too.
I do. I just
want to treat my man.
Yeah. Have the salmon.
I'm like, give me two. Give me two meals for return.
It's so funny. I used to get like real quick. I used to get the meals you have to cook. I remember you got them. He was like, I don't have time to cook.
I hate cooking. I was just like, just give it to me already ready, just to heat up. I don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cooking is what you have to do in life.
Yeah.
So we did it, and
you have time. Yeah.
Raphael would make fun of all the meals. I think it was every plate. It's the cheapest of the line.
I tried it before.
And it's like, let me guess, our secret ingredient is salt and pepper. every fucking meal. All right. So now you're gonna cut the potatoes and add sweet. Yeah, he's right. He just got mad at how like risky these meals.
Seasoning was.
Oh yeah. Because, like, it's time to cook. Every fucking ingredient for the spice, get out your olive oil and salt and pepper. That was it.
Do you have garlic powder?
Sometimes they'll add, like,
Don't be crazy.
Like a paprika mix. But he was like, let me guess.
Paprika doesn't even have a taste.
I'm adding. Yes, it does.
Barely.
Paprika has a taste.
It has a color. More
Paprika
color
is
than
spicy.
taste.
It has like a spice to it.
No, it doesn't.
First of all, I can't even deal with you because you don't even eat cilantro, which is which is a Spanish standard.
That is a very strong taste compared to...
And it is not. It's a very mild taste.
Paprika.
So I don't understand. You're saying that paprika is mild and cilantro is strong, which is not. So I don't understand you.
Okay,
I don't understand you.
We'll take a poll about that. Paprika is more of a color than a taste.
Paprika is stronger than fucking cilantro, which is
Oh my God!
But you should be embarrassed as a Spanish person. It's used in like so many Spanish dishes.
What is wrong with your palate?
You know that cilantro is used in like so many Spanish dishes. I know. So
it's a genetic thing. It's probably from my mom's side that I don't like it.
The white side.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're claiming that.
It tastes like rust.
No, it doesn't.
Disgusting. Oh, for me, it does. Okay.
Okay, that's weird.
But the taste is not as strong as paprika.
No, it is not. Are you
as strong
Are you
as
fucking me? Are
cilantro.
you fucking me right now?
No.
Paprika is stronger than fucking cilantro. What are you high?
Not. Are you high?
Are you high?
We'll take a poll.
Paprika.
We're never gonna.
Paprika
we'll argue about this all night.
Is obviously more recognizable than adding cilantro to your meal, which is a light, green to add.
Light.
Yes, I don't know. First of all, I can't trust you because your fucking senses are weird anyway. You smell everything and anything that's not there.
Dog. Yeah.
Yeah, but it smells that no one else smells.
Paprika is so mild.
No, it is not. It's not milder than cilantro. It's a different type of taste, but you're high. You're high that paprika is not more noticeable than cilantro. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Take a poll.
I'll take a poll and I'll win.
Poll. No, I don't think you will.
And if people say that, oh, cilantro, like then if I lose, I'm going to give it up to maybe you white people are like just having a weird brain thing going on.
Well, you're only half Spanish too. I'm surprised your taste buds are like that.
Like I hate spice.
Paprika just adds color to me.
What are you talking about? Paprika adds a flavor, like a spice flavor to it.
Paprika to me is like it's just as mild as like a salt or pepper.
You're crazy. Pepper is not mild. If you add a lot of pepper to something, it's pepper.
Yeah, like a little of pepper.
Yeah, but if you add a lot of pepper, you taste pepper. So
but
if
you don't add that much paprika to anything.
Paprika is red. First of all,
we're going off topic. Okay. Where's our handler? We need a handler.
Oh my God, paprika is red to begin with.
Get off the paprika.
Okay, fine. But she's high because she doesn't like cilantro, and that shocks me.
Gross.
Okay, anyway. Yes. Okay, so the goon...
new scene.
The goon says, Arter, yes. And Jeff's like, we're fucking going to take this gold up there that's baby. They don't know any better, but we're going to get it. Yep. Chino has a little more of morals. Conscious. He's like, I don't feel good about this.
I was like, thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So next, the sad captain, our short little Peruvian with the mustache. They love a strong mustache, don't they?
They do.
He goes home and lights some candles and opens the letter that he got from his daughter. Mm-hmm. It says, Feliz Dia Papa. It's his birthday. Happy birthday from his daughter, who is grown now. He just has a little picture of a little girl.
She did a printout. It looked like she like printed out on a full 8x10 paper of her and her dog.
Yeah.
And I was like,
oh yeah, the dog. Yeah.
The dog was in there. It's probably a little white dog too.
So we get more backstory. He flashes back to when his wife was coming home late from all night. Apparently he's not the bad guy. She was a damn junkie. And the baby was at home starving.
She was neglecting that baby.
At the same time, I guess it seems normal in this country to punch a bitch out. So he punched her because we heard the sound effects. Yeah, it wasn't a slap. It was a face punch to the face to her being out. So he's just a sad little man in a sad little apartment who working in this little town because he got fired from being a cop in Lima.
His wife took the child away, even though I'm like, where are you taking her? You're a junkie. I don't know.
Back at the Goons bar, which was called what?
Armando's or something.
Serenita Armando.
Sure.
Jeff tries to convince Chino to steal from these poor people's land.
They're still going on about it.
You know, this is how you do it. You loosen it up with the drink in the bar. You try to convince
Like,
your friend to
it'll
do
be
this.
Fine.
And then Chappie comes. Chappie, by the way, is their go-to man. He's the one that helps them in the morgue.
He brings their lunch.
Yes. So he wanders to the table with his metal detector. He's like the town. He's not the town drunk because everyone's drunk in this town. He's like the
what
town.
What else are you going to do there?
He's like an ugly Ariel, okay? He likes to go find forks and screws and whatnot with his, like, metal detector. So he's like
Some
the ugly
hoppers.
Yeah, some dingle hoppers. He's the ugly Ariel of his town. All right. Right? So Jeff mentions the tapados. Did I say it right?
Yep.
Chappie agrees that it is real. Chappie's like, yes, it's real. I don't know why he's not Mexican. I'm gonna do Mexican. That's what's gonna happen. He's like, people lose everything trying to get to it. They lose their lives trying to get to the tapados or whatever. So it's gold, y'all. It's gold, y'all. Here from the Spaniards.
We should have stopped on the roadways and just gone digging.
But then we would have got the what's the name of the gas that would come up?
Oh God.
I forgot it.
I want to say it, but I'm going to say it wrong.
Antinomy or something?
Yes.
Yeah, so we would have got that in our face then and we wouldn't have been able to take it.
Just wear a gas mask. Get some PPE on, I guess.
What was it called?
PPE.
PPE. What does that stand for?
Protective equipment.
Personal
Just like everybody learned about that during COVID. You wear the mask, the gloves, the whatever level you need. Yeah, so this is a real thing. This is a real thing. There. So this is,
I just had to see if this was just a made up legend for the movie, but this is like actual lore.
Real shit.
So they show. Also, I noticed they were showing all these scary masks.
In the bar, right?
And I recall
as Chappie is telling the story to them.
And I recall seeing that in real life. We were in Peru, and we were asking, "What do these fucking masks mean?" So I don't know if these were just depiction of like Inca warriors kind of scaring the Spaniards. We never got a chance to like find that out because there was so much history. So we learned about so many things.
And we just got back. We didn't get to look up everything. Unfortunately.
No, but we saw some pretty scary, clownish.
Where did we see that? I know what you're talking
about.
We were in
a
restaurant.
We were in I took some video. I will post it.
I think I know what you're talking about. But everything was such a blur.
I'll post a picture of what I saw that we saw in the movie. That they're very scary and clownish depictions. So they must have been the natives who were kind of scaring the Spaniards in the way of. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but
maybe
that was the connection I made from what I saw.
Yeah.
So, so we got like the ugly Ariel with his hand, like his little Chappie, yeah,
Chappie.
Chappie.
Long A, whatever.
Okay, Chappie, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, people are listening in the bar, so they're trying to keep this conversation down,
right?
A little bit.
Because everybody's nosy. It's a small town.
Yeah, go ahead, Dana. I think I know what you're gonna say. What happens in the bar?
They're in the bar and like. As Chappie's telling the story, like he's getting everybody worked up with the lore and everything, and then we cut to like we see the mask on the wall, everything's getting heated up, and then we see this guy like at a table nearby just like bleh, and he just fucking vomits. And there's like stray dogs everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially out there in the remote areas. And this dog's like trying to eat his fucking vomit.
That's what they do. Don't kiss your dog in the mouth. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Nope.
So anyway, so Jeff and Chino do their scam on their own. Yeah. He has Chino dress up as a shaman to tell the family, I will free you from any witchcraft.
I'm going to cleanse your house.
Yeah, that may have killed your husband. All right. And that which might continue to harm your family.
Right.
Young Rosita asks, how much will it cost? Because she full up, like, is believing what her abuela was telling her, like, look, this is a fucking devil.
There's a cost to everything.
Yes. Yeah.
To cleanse your shit of this paranormal shit.
Jeff's like, it's free, baby. It helps with my investigation. Also, Danilo, the young boy.
Son. Yep.
He hasn't spoken since his dad's passing. He's like, I
He's
will
the
help
one
with that.
Found him.
Yeah, I will help with that as well. I will get him speaking again. Chino, posing as a shaman, tries to pet this young boy's lamb. The boy doesn't let him touch him. No, he had a pet lamb.
No, it was an alpaca.
He had a pet lamb.
It was not a lamb.
It was clearly a lamb.
It was not a lamb.
He kept
they
saying
had an
a lamb.
alpaca farm.
I know they had an alpaca farm, but like in the subtitle, it was a fucking lamb.
It wasn't a lamb.
Yes, it was.
It was a fucking alpaca.
It was a baby
I'm
lamb.
telling you, it was an alpaca.
He had a baby
The
lamb.
subtitle was wrong. It was an alpaca.
It was a lamb. He had a pet lamb. He even tells him later, you have to sacrifice this lamb, not alpaca. He says you have to sacrifice your baby lamb. It was an alpaca. No, it wasn't. It was a lamb. I'm telling you, it was a lamb. Okay. All right, I'll show the picture of him holding his baby alpaca.
Fucking alpaca.
It looked like a baby lamb. It looked like a fucking lamb. It was a lamb.
Maybe they called it like lamb because
they
like Lamb of God.
Lamb.
Maybe that was like a translation.
Sacrifice
like
your lamb. You're a lamb. So I thought this was baby lamb.
Maybe like
there's
in like
multiple.
the
there's other animals
Catholic
besides alpacas.
Way. Yeah.
But
no,
so
they literally had a herd of alpaca. Why would they have a rogue lamb?
Why not?
For what? They were alpaca farmers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying. It was an alpaca.
Okay, so it must have been a bad translation, but they kept referring to this little
it could have been
animal
a religious
that he was
thing
holding
too,
as
like
a lamb.
Lamb
that
sacrifice
looked like,
and
it actually looked like
Catholic,
a lamb, but maybe a baby alpaca looks similar to a lamb.
We saw them.
Yes, but it just kept saying
it's
lamb
furry.
Several times in the translation. Yeah. So the boy didn't let him touch his baby alpaca or lamb, and he points out to where he found him. Plus,
where his dad died.
Belisario, which is the bad man, the debt collectors, they are also watching and see as where his father died.
Yep.
Chico says he needs to perform the ritual on the strongest man in the family, which is little Danilo. Danilo.
Because he's the next male in line, right?
Yeah,
he's the son.
He's the son. He says, I got to sacrifice that, says baby alpaca. He speaks and says, no, Chenglino. He named it, or whatever.
Yeah.
Chingolino.
Chingolin, yes.
So he speaks, so that got him talking.
Yeah.
And he runs off with his alpaca. Chico says, like, they ask normal questions, like, how the fuck are we going to protect ourselves with these toxins? Like, how you get this gold and all this?
We're about to go dig this up. Yeah.
And again, he has another flashback to authority. As a child. For
this random flashback again.
To be honest,
smacked down.
Even to the end of this movie, that was unnecessary. I didn't understand why they kept putting that.
They could have elaborated on that a little more.
And they didn't. So they blast heavy metal in their Volkswagen, driving back down to the town. They pass El Capi. Meanwhile, a drunk Carmencita gets thrown out of a car by a Belisario, claiming that she was going to keep the gold for herself, and she knew all along. And she gets punched in the face as well and left on the street. Mm-hmm. It goes to tell the truth to the captain.
Captain Padilla, yeah.
Yes, and he's like, he didn't die of a stroke, but he...
Like, I knew this man, the Cardenas, the guy, yeah. Like, I knew him.
Yeah.
He didn't just die of, like, fucking natural causes like a stroke, right?
It doesn't
or a heart
matter.
attack.
He doesn't want to hear lies from a liar, which she is.
From a sex worker, you know?
We don't know if that's her title, but...
Oh, that's what she is. She works in Bar Recreo.
She's just a woman, a Spanish woman, and they're trained. They're all like...
I'm pretty sure she was a sex worker, but yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that at all. I
totally did.
I didn't think she was a sex worker. I just think she was a woman who used her looks to get what she wanted, but not a sex worker. She got money
for. Okay, I thought she maybe
sexy
did.
workers is totally their thing. Like, you're on the corner, like fucking sleeping with.
You don't have to be on the corner. You can just be at the bar and people approach you.
That could be a wife. That could be me or you. That could be anybody.
How do you think I know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, sex work is such a loose term. You might as well call wives sex workers, because if their man's a provider, they're technically
culture, I feel like,
they're technically with a man for their money. Like, that's such a loose term. I don't know.
I feel like in a small town like that, maybe not. I don't know.
No,
anyway, it doesn't matter.
she's, you know.
She was an attractive woman that men wanted, okay?
Yeah,
let's leave it at that.
That's common with any culture. If a woman wants to use her looks to get what she wants, so she's this.
Sure, and she just hangs out at strip clubs, though.
That wasn't a strip club. I don't know why I don't know.
Bar Recreo is a strip club.
It had a hot tub with 2 other women.
What other club do you hang out at that has like hot tubs? And there's other women hanging around.
That just looked like a place that was his or what. I don't even know. It didn't even look like a strip club. I just saw 2 women in a bar. And it's like a hot tub in the middle of the place for some reason.
Who knows? I don't
know. No, I don't know.
Could be anything.
I didn't see a pole. I don't know. Not that it's necessary.
To be a pole.
But anyway, so the family go to the service of Jose Aguirre Cardenas in the church.
Right. He's officially having his funeral.
Mm-hmm. The captain is feeling all types of judgments from the saints that are looking down at him in the church. What is he thinking about? What is he shameful about? I don't know. It's a dog. Or a wolf or whatever. I don't know.
In your apartment complex?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like a dog barking.
It sounded like an owl that I heard the other night too. Sorry.
We have owls. Owls are in Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. So the captain goes to the morgue to use the computer to email his daughter. Okay. Like, I guess that's the only computer in the
He's going. Oh, is that what he's going there to?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know why he got on the computer.
He wasn't there to look for anything. He was there until he takes out the
letter.
The letter that his daughter gave him for his birthday.
Okay.
Looks at the email, types it in to email his daughter. But wait, there's 3 unread messages from the toxicology report found high amounts of antimony, which is a real thing, apparently, of toxins. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The captain goes to his boss and says, the reports are wrong. But he's like, look, they have power. You need to pipe down. We're trying to be a good cop.
Boss doesn't believe him.
Well, even if he does, he's like, look,
you've caused problems in the past. And
it's just about corruption. I just hate this. I hate this in real life, even for good cops. Good cops try to do the thing. Like, this is the truth. And it doesn't matter. So he goes to Carmencita to hear the truth. He says, that night, Jose, the man who was deceased on the mountain, that's in question, he says, I got, and he said that I have gold and to come with me.
Yeah, I found destapados in my hills of my land.
Yes, they were going to meet on the hill that night, and he made an offering with an alpaca, but she never showed up for whatever reason. And he started to dig, and the antimony gas came out. He starts to foam at the mouth, and he dies. Back in town, Gino and Jeff are drinking on a hill. What confuses me is, like, they find out this information to do a certain thing, and then it just goes from, like, we're in a car now, and now we're drinking on the hill. Like, it doesn't get to, like, okay, let's get... Anyway, it just bothered me how they're just lollygagging after finding out this information. They're drinking on a hill, sure. Yeah. The men are in town at the bar and finally hear out Chappie, the local idiot, if you will.
They, like, bully him into, like, the truth somehow.
I don't think they bully him.
I
didn't see that at all.
They're just like, what happened, Choppy? You know the truth. What happened?
It's like, oh gosh, now the whole bar gets wind of it. There's Cardenas, which is the buried gold from the Incas. I laughed out loud when the local radio DJ spreads the news. I thought he was
on the
blind.
Big speaker.
I thought he was blind or something. It looked like some 80s equipment. He's like, fellow residents of Marcapata, I got some hot news for you. He didn't say it like that. Jose didn't suffer from a stroke, baby. He was killed by the adar. There's gold in these hills. Mm-hmm. The town knows. And it gets very Frankensteinish. They all come...
They're all on a witch hunt now.
Yeah. They had come with their torches. And Chappie comes with his metal detector, along with the village people and the torches to get the gold. Mm-hmm. Why they had to do the torches? I guess for like dramatic.
It was. It reminded me of like Beauty and the Beast, right? Like they all come for him. You know,
dramatic effect. I mean, this town is old school enough. Sure, I believe torches. All right, back home, the grieving family is praying to Jose's altar. And I don't understand. Please tell me. I've always wondered myself, why is it all the pictures of Spanish people? Why do you look fucking angry? You're very happy people. But when you take a picture, you look like a psychopath. My dad does it. My abuela does it. Like, you don't smile. You're just like, what is that?
That's how you smile too. Like, that's how you are in pictures. And Raphael too.
I don't understand.
I was taking pictures of us. I was like, smile, Raphael. It's fine. Look like you're having a good time.
Don't force it. Like, I don't understand why people look psychotic.
I think
because
back in the day, because like the shutter was so slow.
They're not that old. The pictures are not that old where the shutter is going that slow.
Like, you have to sit there for 30 minutes.
No, like we're talking about my dad and my grandma. Like, they had normal cameras. Like, I don't understand why you guys don't. No, everybody. My grandma was the happiest, loveliest woman. But her pictures were so serious. Why so serious?
My grandma wasn't like that.
In her pictures, she smiled. In her pictures, if you have a picture of her, is she smiling or is she serious?
She's smiling. Most of the time, she's smiling. Yeah.
It's just not normal. Like,
I feel like it's like a man thing. Like, you got to be stoic.
I find it with across the board with men and women in Spanish cultures. Like, I look up these women. I don't. From the pictures I've seen, like, why are you fucking looking crazy? I don't know. But you're very happy people.
And just the men trying to be stoic, but
you have a bad conception of like time. That's like 1800s. We're talking about the 20th century. They have fast cameras.
I don't know. I saw my grandma smiling pictures, like black and white old photos.
The shutter,
smiling.
Theory, like that would
the
be
men
like
were not.
That would be like in the the early 1800s of a shutter speed, but not 20th century. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Chino and Jeff are back there to finish their ritual, right? That's why they're back up there, because Captain Padilla came up earlier and like messed up their plan, because he took the family down to have the funeral, and that they were like, okay, we got to split because we don't want him to see what we're doing, right? So now they're back up there that night. And so to finish their master plan of getting Danilo to fake sacrifice, or like this little fake,
So Chica comes back to the boy to finish the fake ritual, like he said, with shovel in hand. They find Chappie is dead from a heart attack.
Chappie was running up the hill, and he was going so hard he just fucking died.
So they take his metal detector. Why
and
not?
Shovel.
Jeff chickens out and doesn't want the boy to get killed by the gas. So I'm
like, why didn't you think about it before, you asshole?
But like when you're confronted with situations, that's when it happens. Like, you could be all talk about something, but when it finally
I would have thought that a long time ago. Sorry.
That's not human nature, though. Like, when you're confronted with something, when you can...
Like, this is how he died from the beginning. Don't you think that's going to happen again when you start digging?
I know, but yeah, I totally concede with that. Like, when you're finally...
Just a dumb man.
When you're finally... It's not about being a man. It's just human. This could be a woman or a man. Like, when you're finally confronted with a situation... then your true feelings come out, like, I don't want to do this, I think that can be anybody. He doesn't want the boy to get killed by the gas, but they give him the shovel anyway. He starts to dig, and there's a vase, and he breaks it. Mm-hmm. And there's no gas. He takes the findings, which we don't get a clear shot of. And
it's not actually gold. It looks like it's like some sculptures. Maybe the gold's inside. We can't really tell. They're like some kind of like figurines.
We don't really
something.
see it. Yeah. We don't really see it. But he takes the finding and is he decides to go through what this fake shaman tells him and killed his beloved alpaca with a knife for sacrifice. He was going to go through it because that's what an adult told him to do it. That's what the shaman told him to do it.
He's a child. He's just like, he didn't know any better.
Yeah. And also we get an image back home of the women of the family grieving and praying to Jose's altar.
He's chasing the baby alpaca down the hill. And then Jefferson and Chino are chasing him down the hill because he has the treasure, right, that he just uncovered. And so he runs into the street, and Captain Padilla is coming up the hill at the time. He sees the alpaca go by. He sees Danilo go by. He's like, what the fuck is going on? Why are these kids out in the middle of the night? Like, what's going on? He doesn't hit them. They pass by. But then Chino is next in line, and he hits Chino, and he kills him by accident. Mm-hmm. And then Jefferson comes down the hill, and he's like, oh, fuck, he's realizing the weight of this whole situation, that he was This whole stupid ritual thing he was trying to do just to get some fucking money, right? Mm-hmm. So now Padilla's out of the car, right? And he's like checking like, oh, fuck, you know? And Jefferson's like, what the fuck did you do? And he's like, well, why did you like fake the reports of Jose Cardena's death report? Like, he didn't die of a fucking stroke, you know? Like, why'd you fake that shit? And like, once Padilla understands like what's going on, he's like, oh, you guys were like trying to like trick this family into like, you know, doing this ritual to like get the evil out of their life, how you think the father died. Jeff is just like, once he realized he's been discovered and his plan has been discovered, he's like, no. Well, you and I could still split this treasure, right? And we would be good, you know, like we don't have to tell anybody or whatever. You know, like he's still on his shit, still on his bullshit. We can both keep the gold. But then suddenly Belisario rolls up with his goon because they've been fucking watching this whole time, right? And the goon fucking shoots Officer Captain Padilla in the shoulder because, you know, they're thinking they think they're busting Padilla for also trying to get in on the gold, but he's just discovering it himself, right?
Yeah. So we hear these shots going on. So who hears us? The mother up in her home and goes to find her son because she thinks, oh my God, there's gunshots. What's going on? A shootout ensues. The captain is haunted by images of the saint in the church from earlier. You know, he's dealing with his own little demons, whatever they may be. And the bad guy gets shot in his hand. Now this part,
a car comes out of nowhere, just like some random car, and just like takes both of them out.
Supposedly. And so this leads to like a nice little special effects part of just a hand attached
grabbing
to no body.
The treasure.
Yeah. No body to the back. Like it's just a hand holding the bag of treasures. The men from the bar, there's also people from the village who've got wind of this, and they're coming with their
torches now.
And demand to know where the gold is. Jeff says there was never any gold, and they proceed to beat his ass.
There was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, they proceed to beat his ass.
I'm like, what are you going to do with the gold even if you had it? You can't even walk. You got shot in the leg. Like, you can't even walk, you know? And Danilo's just, like, looking at him, like, staring him down. Jeff gets the shit beat out of him for that.
They didn't have to do that.
And rightfully so. I felt like they should. Because he lied about somebody everybody knew how he died. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? You're the city boy in this indigenous town. Like, why would you lie about that? And, like, all of a sudden now we know that you know there's some treasure buried there. And we know that, like, you're trying to take advantage of this family's land. And, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a chaotic night. You know, a boy running through, like going through trying to kill his little prized little alpaca, and the village people with torches beating up poor Jeff, who already has trauma for being
Disney movie.
Yeah, who gets a conscious too late kind of thing. So it's morning time. Jeff is alive and is taken away on a stretcher. The captain, however, unfortunately, he dies. He didn't make it.
Yeah.
He didn't make it. Jeff mourns the loss of his friend.
Chino.
The boy reburies the treasure, which we never get a clear depiction of what he buried. Did you find anything about what that actually was that he found?
No.
It looked like, if I had to guess, just from our brief little visit to Peru, I'm guessing that it's probably those three stones that are topping each other, which represent... You know, that's what I was kind of thinking.
I can see how you would think that.
That's
like the condor and the jaguar.
Yeah, because it's a similar kind of column. So that's what I imagined. Don't you think? Maybe.
Yes, except they were like, I think they were like separate three. They weren't stacked on top of each other like the
like
above world, the regular world, and the underworld kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
I felt like they looked like something else, not those animals.
Yeah, that's all I know.
It was hard to tell. It was really hard to tell. I would like to know what the director was trying to portray for that. I would like to know. And
I tried very hard to find out anything about this movie as far as the explanation of this, but maybe it was also. And by the way, those three things that we learned, the condor and the puma and the snake represent the
the upper world, like the living world,
and the underworld. There's no heaven or hell because
they didn't believe that.
They're just leaving nature, baby, which is awesome.
I love that.
It's so nice. It's freeing. That's why I just like I get the allure of Catholicism. It's
beautiful.
Pageantry is, mwah. But the heaven and hell thing, that's a horrible thing to believe in. Believe in nature.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything, and I think maybe it was supposed to be like Pulp Fiction. Like they open the case and it's gold, and they never show what the fuck it is. We never know what it is, but it's something important, you know? Mm-hmm. So I got that vibe. Like it's a fucking Pulp Fiction moment where we don't know what's in the fucking suitcase, but everyone wants what's in the fucking suitcase. But by the way, that's how it ends. And it ends with, it closes with a song called Winds Over SF by Rave Day Crystal. Okay? Mm-hmm. And it's a pan flute music mixed with metal. Okay?
Yeah.
Pan flute with metal.
What a mix.
What a mix. So yes, that was a very kerfuffle of an ending. But
I was sad. I wanted the family. I was hoping that the family realized like what treasure they had so they could, because they don't have like a quote breadwinner anymore because the father was killed, you know?
Yeah.
So I was hoping they were going to use what they could get out of that treasure on their land to keep, you know, funding their life.
I honestly
you know?
feel like if they had the money, would they even give themselves a come up, or would they keep living in the little cave and just have food now? That's what I wonder. Would they give themselves
or maybe they would use
up?
it to pay off this supposed debt. And just so they could live in
triple
peace,
dipping,
you know?
America does it all the time. Triple dipping into debts that don't exist. I just learned a horrible thing about prisons, Dana, that you have to pay your stay in prison. Prison's already puffing for money. It's happening in certain states.
What?
So when you leave prison, you get a bill for your stay, $50 a day for your stay. For example, if you have a 10-year sentence and you only serve 2, you owe 10 years of your stay, only if you only serve 2 years. It's been done in a few states. There's a young woman who is a nurse who's changing her life. She's out of prison. She's turning a new leaf. She has a bill for $250,000 from the state for her stay in prison.
Does she have to pay it?
Yes. It's a fucking law. And that's crazy.
That sounds like this bullshit healthcare we.
So I don't know what that means. Do you get re-imprisoned and then you owe a bigger bill when you get out?
Just take me back.
Yeah.
You know, like.
So I don't know. I guess it only benefits the rich who can easily pay this debt. Like they're not even.
I've never heard.
They're
of
not
that.
even hiding how
Which
they're
states
stealing
is this?
A few. But I'll send you a link. I was shocked.
That's awful.
I was disgusted.
I mean, I understand because taxpayers also pay to keep
but
prisoners alive.
Prisons profit. Like, that's all they do.
I know.
Is profit.
I know. But also somehow I think I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure like some portion of our taxes goes to that.
But
I've also heard too that like keeping somebody on death row, like that costs way more. No, sorry. Oh wait, is it the reverse? I'm trying to remember now.
I'm not
because the lawyer like when my brother was murdered and like the lawyers were explaining like how the guy that killed him.
We're talking about death and I'm fixing my ponytail. That's awful. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's fine. I think it was like because people are like, yeah, just fucking kill them. Like if they're guilty, just kill them. Don't keep them alive until they die. You know, just
paying their food and stay and getting degrees.
But they're actually saying like to put them on death row actually costs more because they have to go through all these appeals and trials and lawyers, and that costs more money than just keeping them alive until they die. You know,
this current thing of now. This thing where they trying to like get back pay from people who are out of prison now, it's going to back up the court fees and court systems and slow it down even further of trying to collect money from people who are out of prison. So it's going to cost more money to run after people for their stay. So it's not economical. But I just learned something else more disgusting about the United States. And what do? I still live here. But maybe one day we'll uproot once we get a plan. But yeah, but that's neither here nor there. The reason I said that is like, okay, this poor family was harassed by this guy who was trying to collect a debt that was already paid for,
supposedly,
as America does, just triple dipping into things that they don't need to. And what do we do as citizens? We're just, we just gotta fight the man, But yeah. So anyway, that happened. That ended. We don't know what's technically in the thing, that it gets reburied. And sure, this happens all over again.
I found an article from dreadcentral.com, a really good review of this, about the lingering effects of colonialism. Was Mikey Peralta Jr., and this was from 2022. As the mystery of the film dissipates and the genre transitions to a thriller, the theme of greed overtakes the narrative. About halfway through the film, Jeff and Chino discover the cause of Jose's death. The invisible assailant is actually an odor of built-up arsenic gas beneath the mountains caused by the buried gold. And of all these things we see, of course, it's important to note that Velarde, the director, displays Jeff, a white passing Peruvian, as obnoxious with a superiority complex. When getting out late from work, he's banging on the doors, like I was saying. So while the film doesn't depict the Peruvian indigenous population being physically beaten and oppressed, Jeff and Belisario, the coroner, and the corrupt landowner, the antics of subtle racism by taking advantage of these people showcase the lasting effects of colonialism. This coincides with the scholar Christina Nelson's work titled The Effects of Neocolonialism on Indigenous Peruvians. Sorry, there's a link here. And at Nelson, she mentions how this demographic has been the most vulnerable since the arrival of the Europeans. It started with the conquest and leads through modern times with their exploitation, including the clear division between Spanish, Peruvians, and indigenous groups up through the national levels. This is exactly the kind of divide Velarde depicts with Jeff and Belisario's demeanor and actions. I thought that was really interesting to see.
I think it's funny, not funny. I think it's interesting when we talk about greed and taking advantage of indigenous people, that it easily
timeless and just keeps happening.
that it is easily done by people who look like them, not just like the Spanish colonial, even in our community, they have certain names for it, but even people who are indigenous will carry on those Spaniard traits, or traits to exploit each other with their own people, which is hard.
The thing is also that they do mention in this article too, which I did note, because Jefferson and Chino, they look very different, right? Jefferson looks like a more white guy, right? He's tall, skinny, light-skinned, right?
Yeah, more Spaniard attributes.
Yes.
Than indigenous, yes.
Chino has the dark skin. He has he has the more indigenous look, right? And you can see the struggle there, where the more colonial looking guy, I guess, is trying to convince, the indigenous looking guy to do this bad deed, turn against his people in a way, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and he's also the boss, not Choppy even boss, mentions that. But he's oh, you do everything Jefferson says, because you're the dumb one in the class or whatever, the medical community class.
Well, that's on him. But I do see why they gave particularly Jeff's character, who was lighter skin tone and taller or whatever, those attributes of trying to get one over on his friend and the people. Yeah. So that's a solid observation.
There's parallels from the colonialism back in the day, as well. But then you also see Chino struggle too. He's just I feel like this is wrong, and he looks more like the indigenous people. I don't know, but I thought that was a good contrast. I thought that was a really good setup for the whole plot,
And what's funny about Chino is that when he goes to play this character, he really takes it seriously. He's look, why? He's why are you involving the boy to that extent in his prized little animal in that way? I don't want you to take it too seriously. It reminds me of Django, It's okay, you're gonna play a slave who is gonna fight other slaves, and I need you to play a black guy who is gonna treat your own kind this way. But And then he takes it too far. I was like, well, I don't want you to like really take the role seriously. So I find it funny. Like, I don't know if it was intentionally to make his friend see like, this is what you wanted. And I'm going to do it to the extent you want it and see how bad that this whole situation is. But it seemed like I was so confused because Chino like seemed like he was gonna go.
He totally bought into it.
He bought into it in the way he decided to go for it anyway. But it's in like an human nature. Like, you're mad at yourself for doing this anyway, so I might as well just give into the whole thing.
I felt Jeff's smarter than me. Everybody knows that. So I'm kind of like, I was kind of like the C student. So let me just follow in his footsteps. He knows best. And then he just kind of bought into it. Like, well, my life could be better.
I think that's a fair analysis about Jeff being the Spanish colonizer.
He's representing that in like modern time. Did you have any likes or dislikes?
I try to be fair with it. I felt some of the plots that took place with some of the characters where they're going didn't really make sense as far as, and when we finally got the connection of like, here's the truth, it was like, I felt like, well, that's what we already knew and not really new information when they finally laid it all out. As far as being a movie made all by Peruvians with Peruvian cast, I thought it was great. It was very, especially since we just been there, to see those countrysides and those people again, to understand this is, the real way of living. And unfortunate is, as many ways as Peru is rich in many other ways, that corruption is still a thing in these countries. There's trade-offs. Like, there's many things about our country that are that. We have corruption as well. Mm-hmm. Very well, which we just talked about as far as like the triple dipping with the prison money. Like, there's always things, but I just thought it was good, and I like that the guys were metalheads. Mm-hmm. It's very, I didn't know why the morgue was so dirty, but I don't know.
Third world country.
But I do feel for the movie they made this room like Saw dirty.
Oh,
like
for
like
sure.
the room that we found like the victims in Saw.
Yeah,
it was that
totally Saw.
So yeah, I took it for what it was because there's not a lot of Peruvian horror to grade. So for that, it was an easy watch. Storyline a little juvenile for me, but we get it, the message of greed and how it cycles, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was very cool to watch, especially since from our trip. Yeah. So I give it a fair grade. Yeah. Nice. What about you?
I know we didn't see a lot of special effects, but like in the morgue, I really appreciated the special effects with the cutting opening of the bodies and everything. The autopsy, I thought it was very good I don't know what their budget was, but I think they did well with what they had. And I really love, like I was saying, like I love how they showed the two sides of the indigenous Peruvians versus the Spanish Peruvians, because that was something I never thought of. Just because I live in my bubble in America, like I know these things go on, but when I get to like actually go there and then see it in real time, how the indigenous people are still living and everything. And like I said, I know this exists in other countries, but it hits home for me because it's part of my heritage, part of one side of my family. And just also knowing that it's like part of like I said, like this, one of the 7 wonders of the world, and how they're still operating there versus the big city versus the indigenous, like within the same country, It was really a unique and special like experience to see that, like how it married the two. Cause I always like loved learning about the culture. There's still so much I want to learn about it, and just seeing like it was going to peek into like the very, very past, you know what I mean? But also living in this time now. I'm probably not making myself clear, but you know what I mean?
I think you're making sense. I guess the only thing that we have relation to that is probably the Inuit in like Alaska. There's a lot of people who are indigenous there who still choose to go into these caves of ice and collect like these clams that have very little protein for a living. You could die.
Or sustenance.
You could die. And the young people don't do it anymore. It's like, we don't need to do that, but there's still people who are true to the indigenous ways of I think they're called the Inuit, of doing these dangerous things to sustain their lives. So yeah,
that's all they know.
I think that's common in any culture. Like you're stuck to your traditions because even though it's harder, it's tradition, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I can see that too. Do you have any reviews?
This is from Letterboxd. It's 2.5 stars. TGI, apparently.
That's a person?
Yes.
Okay.
The Light on the Hill is a fun crime drama, but has minimal horror. That was the debate as well. Not really horror. So why was it marketed as horror? Maybe it's to justify the gory use of corpses as a plot device early on, or maybe just to exoticize Peru's native indigenous people and their superstitions. Whatever the reason, it manages to be compelling despite surface-level attempts at horror. The best character, Padilla, is involved in no scares or gross outs. He plays an investigation role as sheriff. I like his tough-nosed approach to obvious crime, even if it's a common archetype in film. His anger at the events also turns him from questionable villain to a pleasing hero. His frustration at corruption and disrespect for evil is relatable. If anyone is looking at this as a horror film, look somewhere else. The first 10
sunglasses on.
The first 10 minutes have some cool morgue scenes, but that tone is abandoned afterwards. I read some interesting reviews about how it's a colonization story. I think it's an interesting mindset to go into the film with. Agreed. However, rather than exploit the horror of colonization, it is a sad reminder of how colonization is continuously weaponized for personal gain. So I agree. But he was saying, like, it's not really horror, but it's a lesson of greed, pretty much.
It's like the horrors of man.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I took it.
Yeah.
Do you have any other reviews?
This is from Samuel Roberio. Okay. 3 stars from Letterboxd. A nice little movie about greed and taking advantage of the other's misfortune. I wish they had better developed the folklore stuff, the legend behind the plot. But last but not least, 2 death metal fans wearing a cannibal corpse and a carcass t-shirt while working on a morgue is just beautiful. With one of autopsy, it would have been perfect. That's it. Metalhead shirts. Cool.
I have a review, a 5-star review, 5 out of 10 from IMDb. Well, they said, interesting, not entirely satisfied. Spoiler. After the death of the mysterious death of a local shepherd, a remote village is overcome with fear as talk spreads of an ancient treasure hidden away in the hills where the body was found. Lovecraft vibes, mainly color out of space. I could see that. Seeps from this Peruvian enigmatic drama, The Light on the Hill, especially in the promising and richly layered first half. Atmospheric locations and a lingering sense of unease are wasted on an encroaching mystery that ends on a mundane revelation when compared to where it might have headed.
Well, how many stars was that?
It was 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And they go on to say, maybe I was just disappointed by its grounded denouncement and a shifting focus from possibly eerie supernatural interference / superstitious fear as more of a facade to hide something much closer to home, human traits of greed and deception. Yeah. So it surprised me. Not a bad film, just left me unsatisfied, although the horror tag is very misleading, as we discussed.
Yeah, see, all those messages got lost. He just mentioned like 3 different points. And that's why I was like, where are we going with the point you're trying to make here, and here, and there? So I agree with that.
And then I have 2 more. One's really short from letterboxd.com. This is a review by Mazine Kaiser, 3 stars. Metalheads working in a morgue feels like one of those stereotypes that's secretly true.
That was one of mine. I almost read it, but we so far have never read the same review.
We've come close.
Close. Right. I have it here. I was like, oh,
I'm not going to do it.
And then you did it.
I did it.
You did it.
All right, I have one more. This is a 4.5 star, also from Letterboxd, watched by The Maxed. This was from February of this year. I really enjoyed this. The subtext of Indigenous Peruvians reclaiming what is theirs and doing what they want with it is strong. I also love the tone of this movie. It isn't horror, but it has some fun attempts at jump scares. I feel it feels like a 90s Disney or Nickelodeon show, like Are You Afraid of the Dark or So Weird. I could totally see that. I could totally see it. Yeah.
Good description.
Yeah, that kind of light tone with the darkness and tension results in a breezy watch with a tinge of nostalgia. That being said, it does have some gruesome aspects. The film centers around 2 forensic pathologists, and their work is brutal, but never gore for the sake of gore. Those pathologists also wear some of the sickest death metal shirts money can buy. Also, Stephanie, her last name is spelled O-R-U with the accento over it, E, is a babe.
Yeah,
I agree. She was a babe.
She's a babe.
She's totally hottie. Total hottie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was Light on the Hill.
Yeah, I did find a lot of reviews that basically say that like it, you know, it gets lost in execution, but it's unnecessary drama of the characters for the 120 minutes. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I want it to be more fair because there's not a lot of Peruvian horror to challenge it with.
Right.
So I really appreciate the attempt and execution of Peruvian horror made by Peruvians in Peru. So it's great.
Yeah.
I get it.
I liked it just because I feel like it covered all the tropes that like I kind of maybe suspected or didn't necessarily realize, and all brought it to light. I was just like, oh yeah, this shit still goes on just anywhere. And seeing it like that, it hurt my heart for my people. You know, I don't know.
I'm horrible. I went back to Africa. I was like, I know you. Okay.
I'm surprised.
Not
surprised.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah. I had a beautiful experience in Peru. Thank you and Raphael for planning all of that. It was chaotic, but it was still very fulfilling. I will say that. And I had a great time. And yeah, even though Raphael doesn't want to travel with me anymore because I make fun of the things.
Yeah, you laugh at everything. What else is to think if you're laughing all the time?
I can't not laugh at the pan flute guy.
I'm sorry.
And that's my heritage. That's not even his heritage. I can laugh at it, Raphael. It's okay.
Okay, but you know, it's
just not my jam because I'm a dumb American.
I don't know. You laugh at everything, so he's like,
do.
"This is not funny."
I make fun of everything, myself included. Like nobody is safe, including myself.
Okay.
So Raphael, calm down.
Well, he is who he is. So
he's a
that's just his
delicate Cuban.
Yeah, he lets me know.
Romantic
he's
man.
a very sensitive person, you know, and he can't change that. He's very sensitive.
I learned a lot about him on this trip.
He's a sensitive soul. He really is.
Yes, I learned. We all learned about each other on this trip, and so. But you and I can go. We'll be fine, right? We'll just go to the beach. Like he doesn't have to go. It's fine.
No.
We'll go laugh at all the inappropriate things that he might find.
Yeah. Like I went to New York by myself to see drag and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, that's without him.
Oh, and we tried to go to a drag show in Peru.
They had a bear show, but women are not allowed.
Yeah, we couldn't see the drag queens, but they had bears.
So
and we were not allowed.
No.
I was very offended.
I tried one last Hail Mary. I was like, okay, there's a place that does have drag on certain nights. I was like, okay, I got my translation app. And I basically went to this woman who looked like the Coke, what was the Coke Lord of the South America? Graciela or whatever. It's a movie on Netflix.
Was it Graciela?
Yes.
I don't know.
She looked like that. She had a stern look on her face. I was like, do you have the gays in the dress? Do you have the men that dress like women here tonight?
Do you have the gays?
Yeah, do you have the men that dress like women tonight? And she's like,
in the vestidos.
She's like, no. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Like, I'm so sorry. Lo siento.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, bye. Okay,
I just want to know, before I pay cover, you got the women and the men in dresses here tonight.
Right. That's all I want to see. I just want to give my money, give my praise.
Next time. That's fine.
Now that we've seen the things, we can go back to Lima, and I feel like I can just chill. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We've seen all the big sites. We can just go to the main
city. There's a lot of big sites, but it's just...
but we saw them, you know, most of them. There's a lot to see. There's still the lines of Nazca and like all these other things too, I know. But
the elevation is a lot if you've never been there.
But you did. Yes.
It's a lot. It's an exhaustion on your body. And it's just a lot of bugs.
I didn't feel that bad though, and I don't get like... I don't know.
It was exhausting.
I felt a little off the first day. but not bad. Like, I still climbed the fucking mountain 2 days later.
There's still a lot to see. We weren't even
I didn't
near
eat any more
jungle.
coca leaves. I had some candy, but like.
But the thing is, we weren't even near the jungle.
It's because I'm Peruvian. That's why.
We weren't even near the jungle.
Neither is Raphael.
We weren't even near the Amazon, like the real bugs. So I can't imagine going there.
We were on the edge of it though.
Not close. Like we weren't in it though. So could you imagine how our bodies would have been if we were fucking in the jungle?
Actually, okay, this funny story. So like while I was there, like now that I'm on WhatsApp, and I see all the people that like I have contacts with on there, it was funny. Like the guy that sold me and my ex our timeshare in Hawaii, like he's Brazilian and he was actually in Peru like the week and during the week. Going through all of Peru, just like we did, but then he extended his stay and he went all the way up through like the Amazon. He was going back to Brazil or something like that. And so I was watching all of his stories and we were talking through it and stuff like that. And I was like, how are the fucking mosquitoes now that you're like in the fucking Amazon? He was like, they're actually not that bad. I was so surprised.
But maybe
like,
he's talking like Raphael, like talking about a shower.
True,
it's not that bad. You just got to run in the shower and get your blood pressure up. And
maybe.
So maybe
because he is like Brazilian. I don't know.
Like
maybe he's got that
you know what
bitter
I mean?
blood. Unlike
maybe he's
we got
not
that
talking
sweet
like
blood
how
that
I
mosquitoes
was talking.
love.
Yeah.
Could be. But he was just like, it's not a big deal. And I was just like,
no, I feel like he's lying like Raphael. It's fine. Okay.
It's like you don't have the good blood that the mosquitoes love like us. I don't
Remember
know.
Raphael was talking about when he was in the jungle, like he had to have a mosquito net over the hammock, and it's
when he was
just
in
like
the army.
Yeah. So
he did
failed.
the sound effect for the mosquitoes. He's like,
yeah, it's like that. He's talking about
so
those.
Funny.
I don't want to.
He's like, when you got to take a piss, your dick gets bit, right?
Yeah, I never thought about that. He's like, yeah,
I would just pee through the net if I was a guy.
What? It would splash over the net and fall on you. It won't
I thought it may. I don't know how dense.
You know how a
net
works? It'll just dribble down.
Yeah,
it's not gonna piss through the
it's
net.
not like a filter. Okay.
I never thought about that.
I mean, being a girl, I think just like squat and like it just goes to the ground and the net's touching the ground so nothing gets through. I don't. You know what I mean?
It's gonna. I mean, you could try, but you're gonna get bit.
I don't know.
You're gonna get bit.
I will definitely go back to Peru one day, but I don't. It'll be a minute before I go back to Machu Picchu, only because of the mosquitoes. Oh, and that dog thing.
Oh, you and the dog thing. I was living for it.
Okay,
like,
You're awful.
No, I'm not.
Let me just tell this story
I'm
just
Peruvian.
real quick. I was like, the first night we stayed in Agua Caliente, it's at the base of Machu Picchu Mountain. There's stray dogs everywhere. It's fine. Whatever. We're in like a little village town. There's restaurants, shops, everything, Airbnbs. It's a beautiful scene. That first night, around midnight, I heard something woke me up. I fell asleep watching TV and I heard like some loud fucking noise and all these dogs started barking, all the stray dogs. And like I heard a dog. It sounded like some dog that was dying. Because there's no other option.
If the pain is
there.
temporary, why would the first thought?
It's not temporary.
How do you know? You weren't even there.
Don't do that around me. That's nothing. I was like, what are you doing? I was just like, how do you know? You tried to peek out, and because that screaming kept happening. Did you see? No, I told you. You said you saw cops, right? There were cops across the street. They were all like in a semicircle. Like they knew something had happened. So they heard the noise that you heard. Yes.
Is this like a ghost situation?
No, I don't think it was a ghost situation.
You heard it. Not a ghost.
The dogs were barking at it.
I didn't hear it. Raphael didn't hear it. The woman at the front desk didn't hear it.
But y'all don't wake each other snoring like freight trains beside each other. How would you hear that?
A dog, she was fucking barking, and I couldn't see her on the corner, but then it was weird because like the sound of the screaming dog, it like transitioned, then all of a sudden it started sounding like a human. I don't know how she heard this, but I heard nothing of it. I know, you're deaf. You're deaf. I wasn't in the shower that long for 15 minutes of all this craziness be going on. I would have heard, it's nothing, but you and Raphael sitting next to each other snoring like freight trains and don't wake each other up. So I'm not surprised. Anyway, there are people that are learning. They don't hear outside noises that you're talking about. I know what I fucking heard because it woke me out of a dead sleep. It woke me out of a dead sleep, and the cops were milling about. They knew something was going on, and I didn't know how to ask them in Spanish because I'm just a foreigner.
If I was in the shower for 2 minutes, I would have heard 13 minutes of this escapade that you're talking about, and I heard nothing.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, who is this really? Or didn't take care of it? Whatever they felt necessary. Yeah, I was just like, I can't say anything. I'm not from here. I have no say so. But it was just so fucking anxiety inducing. I was just like, what the fuck is happening? That's horrible. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I hate that. Because this animal, Cypria, this animal was not coming back from whatever it was screaming from. You don't know that. You don't know that. There's no vet capabilities in that little village that could have helped it. Yeah, an emergency in 24 hours.
In every step, you're there with passion. Life feels lighter.
Is that how we're gonna end the episode?
Yeah.
Okay, so
yes,
we had a great time in Peru. Otherwise, and go eat some ceviche
with Angry Latinas arguing to each other about hypotheticals or non-hypotheticals. So we ended it on that at least. Two half Latinas getting mad at each other over something that we disagree on.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yes.
All right.
We did a Peruvian movie, and she went to the fatherland, and it was awesome in all kinds of things. Yeah. Can't wait for her next pick next year. No, it doesn't have to be next year. We can pick Hispanic horror anytime. Yes. So yes.
Any culture.
Take care and love each other, unlike how me and Dana have treated each other.
We're gonna go fist fight.
Yeah,
in the parking lot after this,
because I feel a ways about things, and she does too. Mm-hmm. So
we always hug it out at the end, but it's fine. Okay. It'll get heated, but we'll hug it out and then apologize. It's fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Let's take it away. Let's see what Raphael has to say.
God.
What do you think he's gonna say?
I know, something awful.
He might like it. Say, I like the countryside.
He did love Peru. He's just gonna talk about the food and how much he wants to move
not
there.
the food, but as far as the movie, anything that has countryside or scenery, he'll sit through. How do you like it? Let's find out.
Let's find out. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
The Light in the Hill, or in Spanish, La Luz en la Colina. It's a good movie, I think. It's entertaining about Peru, and then I had the chance to actually visit Peru. So I don't have much to say about the movie. It's just a movie, and I really don't talk much about movies. I just watch it, and sometimes I get bored, sometimes I don't. And in this case, nothing else I had to say.
Where's the kitchen?
I'll do this here. Oh, let me my feet. I take now.
That was actually a really good movie with the guy who has a fucked up jaw. He's a Disney kid.
Disney kid.
He played not Jeffrey Dahmer. He played the hot killer from the 70s. Anyway.
Oh, Dahmer?
Not Dahmer.
Evan
the other
Peters?
What's another hot killer from the 70s?
Fuck. Oh my God, I saw the whole.
You know what I'm
special on
talking
it,
about.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, why am I drawing a blank on this?
I know what you're talking about.
He's
the
hot.
Night Stalker.
Not the Night Stalker. He was the guy the other famous one who would lure people in his car pretending he had a broken arm or something like that.
Oh,
Surfers.
Gacy.
No. He's hot. Why can't I think of him? He's the hot killer from the 70s everyone loved.
Oh, yes.
Everybody knows him.
Oh my God.
Why am I drawing a blank? It's really pissing me off that I
can
can't
see
think
his face.
There's been so many.
And he went to college dorms and killed people.
It's
you know.
The main why is it killing me that I can't think of this killer's name?
I don't know.
He's like the main one, isn't it? Bothering you?
He's one of the main. He is one of the main serial killers of like the 70s.
Everyone's like, "Oh, he's so hot," and I don't see how he could, hurt anybody.
I know who you're talking about.
So I love biblical movies. So I went to this Christian movie about Jesus, and Bonicelli was performing in Greece, singing about Jesus in him coming back. Everyone's running.
But they're all running because they're all running after the alpaca.
Bonicelli. Hey Google.
Bocelli. No.
Bocelli.
That doesn't sound right either.
That sounds right.
Andrea Bocelli. What was Raphael talking about? No, not Botticelli. But that's the artist who did the woman in the shell, the artist where she's coming out of the shell.
Venus?
Of course. I'm just like, yeah.
We got to cover our bases. This is not
all Russian. Hashtag not all Russians.
That's what I put at the bottom. Hashtag not all Russians. We're American, and I don't know how to pronounce things in Spanish. And I just want to say
Italian.
Oh yeah, Italian.
He was
Pan
jamming
flute and how to
out
say
by a
Botticelli.
waterfall. I don't even think it was Botticelli.
But it's your people.
I said Botticelli, like botched. Okay. Oh my God. Just erase me from the human race because I don't know. She left.
If you do it like that, it's if you look over your, if you have to look at your notes,
like, what, being dramatic, like,
huh? Yeah, we'll do it. Huh?
Yes.
Bocelli. It's Bocelli. I'm positive.
Saint Francisco de Assis. Does that sound right to you?
Jesus?
Assis.
Why is it not Jesus? But how would you pronounce a J in Spanish?
Huh.
Huh.
You're saying hef-a.
Yeah, I am.
It's just
I know.
Hef.
Every picture I take that I look good and you look bad. We can't take a good picture together. It pisses me off.
There's no E at the end. There's no E at the
J.
end.
There's
no
J.
E at the end. Fuck. My words.
Oh, you look good.
Thanks.